Former NBA player Joe Smith is the latest alumni now who is learning a very old lesson here. He is learning that you you simply cannot transform a hoe into a housewife. You know, he gave it a shot, he gave it a try, and the results were pathetic and predictable. We got a lot of ground to cover here tonight, so everyone, get ready for it to be a bit of a flamethrower here. You have been warned. First off, let me go ahead and I know you've probably seen the video that's been going around. It's been viewed dozens of millions of times. But I want to go ahead and play this for you here so that when we review it, everyone will be up to speed.
Here just finding out you got an OnlyFans page. Out of all these years, yo, the disrespect that comes with it, that you couldn't even talk to me before you did it, that's bullshit, yo. That's fucked up, Keith. I'm telling you, yo, that's fucked up.
Wait, no. Calm, but you're not going to say fuck me or that's fucked up. It's not fucked up.
You recording me? What the fuck you doing?
Listen, it's not fucked up, and we're going to... Okay, look, so I have an OnlyFans page, and he's mad because he's just now finding out about it.
Of course I'm mad I'm just finding out about it.
I'm not doing it with anybody but myself, so why should I have to tell you my choice, my body, my fucking choice?
Your partner, you're supposed to come to me and talk to me.
Joe, I've been talking to you about mad things. I've been asking for solutions to shit. You're not giving me none, so I created one.
That's no solution. Not in my book. That's no
solution. You knew who the fuck I was when you met me.
Before,
I
knew that.
Thought that I would never have to go back to anything like this again.
Beforehand,
but
no.
unfortunately, that's not the case right now.
After that, everything's supposed to change.
Everything did change.
No. Obviously it hasn't.
No, it had to. I had to do something.
It hasn't. You stood out there showing your body. You stood out there doing stuff like this on camera.
You act like that's the only thing that I do. I have mad jobs, but they're not facilitating everything that needs to be done. So I got something extra. OnlyFans be breaking me off. What the fuck?
Come on, Kisha, with that. It don't matter what they breaking you off. It's the disrespect that comes with it.
What disrespect?
You couldn't come and talk to me about it.
Okay, well, we're talking about it now.
Because I had to find out on the fly.
All right, then. But now, okay.
No,
so, wait.
I had to find out on the fly.
So now you know.
Yeah, now I know.
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and deal with that real quick here. Now, obviously, a lot of folks are going to be saying, oh, this is a skit, so on and so forth. I think everybody today just assumes that everything is a skit. Everything is not a skit, but let me tell you that I think there is a persuasive argument here to be made that this isn't. I'll give you a few reasons why, in my opinion. There's an argument that it isn't. Because this right here, this is the problem with saying that it's a skit. This is the problem right here. You see him in the background.
That's bullshit, yo. That's fucked up, Keith. I'm telling you, yo, that's fucked up.
Wait, no. Calm, but you're not going to say fuck me or that's fucked up. It's not fucked up.
You recording me? What the fuck you doing?
Okay, now you hear him say, you record me. What are you doing? And then you see her immediately get up.
Listen.
And she starts walking with the phone. So the real thing is, why is she recording him in the first place? Why is she recording him in the first place? You know why? Because she's worried the dude's about to go off on her. So she's like, okay, well, as long as I got the footage rolling, then that's going to limit whatever he does. So she's just recording from the beginning because that's basically supposed to keep him in check. Because she's slick at the mouth. She's smart at the mouth. She is defiant. She's not apologetic. She just in your face. Yeah, nigga, I'm doing it. And yeah, it's out there and it's my body, my choice. I mean, she is all the way slick at the mouth. All the way. So that's why she's got the phone going from the beginning. And as soon as he says, hey, you recording me? She jumps right up and starts moving. If it's a skit, that's not really necessary. There's no reason for her to be running around the house because this is a bad look. Quite frankly, it's not a good, for folks who want to try to twist this into something, this is not a good look for him. With folks, okay, your wife is sitting there 1 minute and then the next minute she's got to get up and start running with her phone. So she immediately gets up and starts, oh, I got to get away. I mean, this leaves you open to folks making accusations on you. Oh, see, he's just now finding out. See, I'm going upstairs. See, I was trying to get away from him and you see the look on his face. Now, that's why I wanted to get the still of it here so you all can see. So this is the image she's showing. This is the image of him that she's showing. Let me go ahead and zoom that in. So you can take a look at that. This is the way this is being portrayed. So what I'm saying is, you can say it's a skit, but this right here, we all know. Remember Kim and Kanye? They were going after him for just posting things on Instagram. So folks can say it's a skit, but what I'm going to say is, by the way, Gloria Allred is on line 1. Gloria Allred is on line 1. So if it's a skit where he is concerned, this is not very flattering for him. This is not very flattering for him if it is. This isn't a very flattering look. Y'all know full damn well folks ain't gonna give a damn about skit or not. It's like, take a look at this right. Oh, do you need help, sis? This is not a good look for him. How's he gonna go somewhere and be interviewed? You know what them folks are gonna say. You know what those people are gonna say. So, I gotta tell you right now, I think actually there's evidence to the contrary. For folks who suspect it's a skit, absolutely, I can understand why you would say that. But, you take a look at what's happening here and whatnot, and then you listen to the way she's talking to him.
About mad things. I've been asking for solutions to shit. You not giving me none, so I created one.
That's no solution. Not in my book. That's no solution.
You knew who the fuck I was when you met me.
Before,
I
knew
thought
that.
that I would never have to go back to anything like this again. But unfortunately, that's not the case right now.
After that, everything's supposed to change.
Everything did change.
No. Obviously it hasn't.
No, it had to. I had to do something.
It hasn't. You stood out there showing your body. You stood out there doing stuff like this on camera.
You act like that's the only thing that I do. I have mad jobs, but they're not facilitating everything that needs to be done. So I got something extra. OnlyFans be breaking me off. What the fuck?
Come on, Kisha, with that. It don't matter what they breaking you off. It's the disrespect that comes with it.
What disrespect?
You couldn't come and talk to me about it.
Okay, well, we're talking about it now.
Because I had to find out on the fly.
All right, then. But now, okay.
No,
so wait.
I had to find out on the fly.
Okay, we're talking about it now while she got the camera on him. We're talking about it now while I got the camera on you. Yeah, I explained what happened while the camera was rolling. Yeah, I'll tell you what's going on. As long as I can record you, I'll tell you what's going on. Yeah, I'll go ahead and admit to everything and I'll cop to everything so long as I can record you. All right. So, in my opinion, I think the evidence falls more on the side of this being authentic because in his case in particular, folks are just thinking about her because people want to just be entertained. You take a look at that look on his face right there. That's the media and the court system. If anything happens between those two, they're going to come back to this video. If anything ever happens between those two now until the end of time, them people are going to come back to this video. And you're not going to be able to tell anybody this is a skit then. You're not going to be able to say anything. So keep that in mind. All right, so what is the big deal? The big deal here is that this woman, her name is Kisha Chavis, and her husband just found out that she has an OnlyFans. Now, certainly, she's got a lot going on over there. She's certainly got a lot going on over there. I went to go investigate it for myself. You can see what's happening there. By the way, she goes by the name Major Kiss. Kyssmajor. On some of them it's Major Kiss, on others it's Kiss Major. But she goes by Kiss Major on OnlyFans, so if you want to know what it was. And her OnlyFans says Kiss Major, a.k.a. Yasmin Penn Davis. Well, that Yasmin Penn Davis was the name that she was using over a decade ago. She was using that name. Well, Jason, where was she? Well, I have to be very careful in what I show, but this is a still image from a video featuring Miss Kisha Chavis, aka Yasmin Penn Davis. This is a still image. I can't show the video. This is a still image, and let me tell you, when you are sandwiched in between Mr. Marcus and another dude, yeah, I could show you all, but she has a long adult film history. Long, but I just think a picture is worth 1,000 words. I think a picture is worth 1,000 words. So I'm just saying, oh boy was already ignoring. I mean, you want to talk about ignoring something. He already ignored this. He already gave her a pass for this. He gave her a pass for this. Already. So I could show you all a bunch of things, but I just figured that this still image really says it all, because you know they ain't there to make gingerbread cookies and you know, discuss tips on knitting needles. You know that's not why they're there. So they got the drink in their hands, and them dudes are looking at her like a straight up snack. So Joe Smith already overlooked a lot. He already overlooked a lot. In case you were wondering, that wasn't the only one. Here's another. All I'm going to say to you is that this is just the first of several females who come into the room. I'll just put it like that. You see one chick here with her, but she's actually just the first of several females and a couple of dudes. The first of several females and a couple of dudes who come trotting into the room over the course of the next 5 minutes. So, just letting you know, like I say, definitely, yeah, if you want to know the inside track about what the real issue was, if you want to know what it was that he's so upset about when he says, hey, you supposed to be done with all that, I'll be damned. She got stretched out like a Raggedy Ann doll back in, okay, heifer, I already overlooked all that. I gave you a pat. Fellas, do you know, ladies, do you know how much it takes to get a man to overlook not just a threesome, but a threesome with featuring Mr. Marcus? Because you know he done watched videos with Mr. Marcus before. You know he has. Can you imagine your chick getting elbow dropped by Mr. Marcus? I mean, leave out the other dude altogether. Just Mr. Marcus, because you know he going to be doing the most. He's going to have his foot on her head. He's going to be sitting up here looking towards the camera, giving the West Side hand signal. He's going to be grabbing your chick's cheeks. He's going to be doing everything. Do you know what it takes to, you can't erase that image, just to push that image to the back of your mind? Can you imagine what that's going to require? Can you imagine? So I'm just saying, dude was already like, hey, look here, my threshold of tolerance is already thin. You can't have no more strikes on your record. And she's like, hey, dude, we was on television with Robert Rodriguez because what's his name? A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez. Because your money ain't been right. He made $60 million in the league, but basically he's gone bankrupt. He's living on thousands a year, not millions. So the money is all gone. He got married once and then divorced because allegedly he was cheating, allegedly. He got 2 kids by 2 other women, from what I read. He's been married and divorced already. He got 2 kids by 2 other women. Now he's married to this chick. He married her in 2018. So they've been married for 5 years. That means he married her when she was 47. 40, because she's 52 now. That's right. This chick right here is a lot older now. She's 52 years old now. No wonder she done picked up OnlyFans. No wonder she's out here talking about getting the house she lives. No wonder. Now, I've gone ahead and explained that, so let's just go ahead and get to the nitty-gritty here about what were the mistakes that Joe Smith made and why did he make them? First of all, he retired back in 2011, so the money is long gone. He married her when she was 47 years old. 47. And what it is that he's refusing to accept where he actually is. And that's how he ended up in this situation. He ended up in this situation because in his mind, he's still trying to hold on to what little dignity he's got. He's still trying to hold on by his fingernails with the little bit of dignity he's got. And some of you fellas, you done wifed up straight up Hoez. You know her body count is out of this damn world. She's a single mom with 4 kids by 4 different niggas. You know what you done drug home is no good. But the reality is you want something that is above your pay grade. You don't actually qualify for a chick without baggage. You can't get that. The chicks, the fly chicks who don't have baggage, you don't qualify for that. You'll make up all kinds of excuses and rationales, but the bottom line is you don't qualify for that. Look, folks, when you washed out the NBA, and I'm not dissing the fella or nothing, I'm just saying, hey, look, when you're washed out the NBA, man, it's a situation where you don't have a choice anymore, dude. It's not like he can pull the chicks who know. The chicks who know are wise and hip to the game. The chicks who know are wise and hip to the game. So you're not going to be able to pull one over on them. That's not going to work. So you're going to have to go find a chick who's on her last damn leg. That's the issue. He's aged out. He's going to have to go find a chick who is on her last leg. She's out of options. And that's the reason why, fellas, you want something better. You want a chick that you can floss over. But the problem is when the money gets funny, you have to start compromising on the quality of the female until finally you find yourself rummaging through the discount bin. In this case, through the trash bin. So he wants a chick who at least presents well. She look cute. Even if she is long in the tooth, she's got her veneers in place. She's not big, jiggly, fat. Yeah, dude, but she's carrying other baggage. She isn't carrying size 16 weight, but she's carrying other baggage. So he wants a chick who dudes will still sit up here and ogle over. He wants a chick that dudes will still do that. And, he's trying to get the best he can for where he qualifies. Right now, this was what he was able to get. A washed up old porn chick. Can't even say porn star, except to those who remember. This is what he was able to get 5 years ago. At 47 years old when he grabbed her, that's what he qualified for. A washed up porn chick. And I know why he did it. He did it because he figured, well, the money ain't right. And her money is obviously not good either. And fellas, dudes out there like Hoez, fellas who are in a financially compromised position, especially, but they figure they like Hoez because Hoez are easy. See, there's the whole trick of it. Hoes are easy to deal with. They are easy to deal with in the beginning. You, as the man, you have all the control. If the hoe wants to be with you, you got all the control. And she's really just sitting around waiting on you. And things will remain that way unless you fall into the trap and you give her leverage. Now, if you screw around and you do that, that's when she's going to flip it on you. That's when she's going to flip it on you because now she's got leverage and she's like, okay, because I'm a hoe and I know my options are thin, I had to eat a bunch of crap at the beginning, but now that I got you over a barrel, and what that means is either getting a wedding ring or getting a bastard kid, now that I got you over the barrel, I'm going to run your ass. Now I'm going to show you what I'm really about. So fellas who are in a compromised position, they grab a little taste for some hoes because hoes are compromised. Hoes are easy to deal with. Hoes are going to have to follow the lead whether they want to or not. They pretty much got to just stick to the script. Pretty much got to stick to the script. But then you decide, well, you know what? My situation is probably never going to get any better, so I might as well pitch camp. Aw, shucky ducky. Well, that's a great idea as long as the hoe you with doesn't already have ideas about how she's going to parlay this situation. And what happened was he married a calculating hoe. He married a calculating hoe. He wasn't smart. He wasn't savvy. He wasn't strategic. And he allowed himself to get hogtied by a hoe. He went ahead and married her and figured either that he would save her or that he had very little worry about because his money ain't right no matter what. He already blew all that up for the first wife. So he figures, what do I have to lose? If I marry this hoe, what do I have to lose? And what he found out was, oh, you still got something left to lose. Your dignity, your self-respect, you still have something to lose. Folks, if you all still agree that you simply cannot turn hoes into housewives. Give me the thumbs up emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. It's 2,000 people in here live right now. If folks don't agree with it, let me go ahead and knock it down. But if you agree that look, fellas just need to quit. You can't turn hoes into housewives. No matter how bad your situation is, no matter how desperate your situation is, no matter how lowly your situation is, no matter how bad your situation is, you cannot turn hoes into housewives. It's not going to happen. You can do all the wishing you want, all the hoping you want, all the praying you want, all the begging you want, all the Mr. Nice Guy you want, Mr. Faithful you want. You can do that all you want to. The bottom line is you might be ready to give leverage to the hoe, but the hoe is not willing to give no leeway to you. You might be ready to change for the hoe, but hoes never change. The only thing hoes change is their position in the hierarchy, what man they're trying to snuggle up under or get protection or resources from. That's the only thing that changes. Let's explain why. The reason why hoes don't change is because they don't have to. They don't have to. First of all, if you coming along to save her, she doesn't have to change. When hoes are always sitting around thinking that they're going to get a bailout, all they have to do is do enough hoeing and they can get a bailout. So they spend their lives doing that. You can't save hoes because they don't want, they're not interested in being saved. They don't think they need to be saved. Here's the next thing. You can't save hoes because hoes think they are smarter than everyone. Hoes think that they are the smartest person in the room. Hoes, I'm talking about a chick who got 6 kids by six different niggas. She's been gotten over 8 ways from Tuesday, and she still thinks that she is smarter, slicker, savvier, more street smart. She still thinks that she is the smartest person in the room. Whether it's Corinne Steffens, Lil' Kim, Kim Kardashian, we can go down the list. Y'all, the reason why hoes don't change is because hoes don't have to, because they're always looking for a bailout. Because hoes think they are the smartest people in the room. Doesn't matter what happens to them, they still think that they are smarter than you. Everything is best 2 out of 3, best 4 out of 6, best 7 out of 8. Everything, in their minds, they're smarter and slicker than you. And in reality, they're not. So what ends up having to happen is they have to go for a dumber and dumber male. No offense to Joe Smith, but I think right now he's kicking his own ass, so I'm not making it no worse. But hoes sit up here and tell themselves, man, look here. If the first fella don't make it, I'll just go ahead and find me a dumber one. I'll find me an even dumber one. I'll go ahead and grab him. That'll work out. I'll just get a dumber one. So if you want to know why it is that hoes always end up with one pookie after another, it's because a guy with something to lose, who's actually got some sense, a fellow who's not a fool, doesn't deal with no hoes. A fellow who's not a fool doesn't deal with hoes. That's the issue. The next reason why hoes don't change is because hoes only have a singular worldview and a singular point of reference, a singular frame of reference. Hoes start being hoes early. They don't start being hoes late. They start being hoes early. Because of that, that's really the only thing they know, and that's their only way of navigating a world full of males. So they've learned or been conditioned to believe that they got an advantage. That as long as they're willing to throw the sex around like a water faucet, they got an advantage. So when the only thing you have in your toolbox is a hammer, everything starts to look like a nail. And that's where she's at now. That's where she's at now. Well, folks are not liking the program much here tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here in a couple of minutes. But I wanted to do a program tonight about Hoez to Housewives, basketball edition. And every time you turn around, whether it's Brittany Renner or the next idiot in the NBA or the NFL, but particularly the NBA, every time you turn around, there's always some guy finding out the hard way that you think you're going to leverage that little old NBA fame. You think you're going to do that. And what happens is these hoes grab something dumber and dumber and dumber and dumber until finally she lands in front of you. Finally, she's in front of you. Now, let me go ahead and show you all how she is presenting herself. This is how she's presenting herself. This is her link tree. This is her link tree. Now, her link tree starts with OnlyFans. Now, folks, if you think it's a skit, I'm just saying, if you think it's a skit, okay. If you think it's a skit, just couldn't help but notice, by the way, her OnlyFans is the first thing, and then you see this second one. Now, I gotta be careful here. Gotta be careful. Make sure I don't show or do anything I shouldn't. Okay, let me make sure I got everything lined up correctly here, because this chick here will get us in all kinds of trouble. She'll get us in all kinds of trouble. What I want to do is show you all. Yeah, we getting off into the paint with it tonight. Let me go ahead and show you all. This is from that second link, the one that said the body rub one. You see the one there that says the body rub babe is a service? Well, this is the webpage of that service. 720 degrees of analysis. This is the webpage for the body rub babe. Let me go ahead and bring it down a little bit so you all can see that this is the webpage itself right there. The body rub babe. It's about making you feel more than good. I'm scared. I'm scared to just start clicking on things, folks. I'm scared to just start clicking on things because she's going to get me in all kinds of trouble. Let me check first. Okay, let me check first. Because, by the way, this is the page now. This is the page. Just thought I'd go ahead and show you all that, by the way, this is the page. Okay, I think we got the green light. This is the page right here for her body rub services. The body rub babe, just in case her OnlyFans wasn't enough. Just in case her OnlyFans wasn't enough, it's about making you feel more than good. I offer a body rub experience unlike any other, utilizing ancient and ancestral techniques. She is in Beaufort, Georgia. This is a public page for her service, so I'm not doxing anyone because she's publicly advertising this on her link tree on her Twitter page. So clearly she wants some business. So any of you who are so inclined, you may do so. Somebody asked how much. Don't worry, I got you covered. All right, here are her list of services. First of all, here's the staff. It's a staff of one. So how does she handle so many clients? I guess she's just very skilled. Here's her list of services. As you can see, Nuru with Kiss, $1,000. Healing Seaweed Gel and the My Body offer a fun healing experience. Healing Seaweed Gel and the My Body. Now, did she throw that "the" in there to keep prosecutors off her trail? Is that why she put the "the" up there? To keep the prosecutors off her back? I didn't say My Body. I said the My Body. Well, that's another product. Yeah, they didn't say this. So do y'all still think this is just a skit, by the way? Do you still think this is just a skit? Do you still think it's just a skit, especially when you consider she's got experience with all kinds of bodies. She's got years, maybe decades of experience with all kinds of bodies. Still think it's a skit? Next up, now I'm going down because the Nuru Kiss is the highest one. Body rub with Kiss, aromatic oils, and a sensual touch. $500 for an hour. Now, this is the kind of thing right here. I want to understand. Okay, body rub. The body rub is $500. She uses oils and a sensual touch. What does sensual touch mean? $500. Nuru with Kiss. Okay, so the oils, is seaweed gel that much damn expensive? Because these sound like the same service, but it costs twice as much. This sounds like, doesn't this sound like the exact same service, except it costs you twice as much? Yeah, I wonder why this man would be upset. Did he look at the link tree, y'all? Because if he stopped at the OnlyFans, oh hell, straight to the damn divorce lawyer. If he stopped at the OnlyFans, he don't know the half yet, does he? So these two sound like the same service. She uses an oil here. She uses a gel here. Oil, gel, touch, body healing, and the My Body offer a fun healing experience. Healing? Did she say healing? Did somebody let Jada Pinkett in the damn room? What? She says healing. Wasn't that what Jada Pinkett offered August Alsina? Didn't Jada Pinkett say to August Alsina she just wanted to give him some healing? They're talking about a massage, but I don't believe it. Lie. They're talking about a massage. I don't buy it. Lie. Not at all. Okay. Next up, the body rub. Lomi Lomi is a Hawaiian method that combines a variety of techniques to relax each part of your body. It will leave you feeling serene and relaxed. Nuru. Healing Seaweed Gel and the My Body offer a fun healing experience. So, it looks like the same damn thing, doesn't it? Okay, what is this? Nuru and Nuru with Kiss? Wait a minute now. Oh, hell. I was wondering what the price difference was because I'm like, that sounds like the same damn thing. Isn't it like, but this one's $400. So Nuru is $400. But Nuru with Kiss is $1,000. Okay. So you can get the Nuru, or you can get the Nuru with Kiss. A fun healing experience for $1,000 an hour. And then, of course, there's the half hour. So she will give you the Lomi Lomi for $150. The body rub, which, by the way, these look like for 1 hour, $200. Body rub with Kiss. Now, what does that mean? Body rub with, who's doing the body rub if if Kiss Major is not doing it? Who's doing the damn body rub down here? Body rub with Kiss. Okay, sounds like there's something special about this Kiss part. Sounds like there's something special there. Something special about that. And then the Nuru with Kiss. So Nuru is $400, but Nuru with Kiss. And I'm just saying to myself here, Nuru with Kiss. And I'm just wondering what happens with the Nuru. What happens with the Nuru? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Folks, I know some of you had some suspicions at the beginning here. Are you sure? Are you certain that this is still just a skit? Are you sure? Are you certain of that? Based on what we're seeing here, she's 52 years old. She is still going hard body to promote her sexuality at 52. She talking crazy as hell to her husband on video. She's telling him, you ain't figured nothing out. So she's very clearly letting him know she is available. And even if you didn't believe that she is, I can get you in a room alone with her. I can get you in a room alone with her for $400. Actually, for $150. For $150, we can get you alone in a room with Joe Smith's wife. Let me get this straight now. For a little over $100, I can get you in the room alone with her. I can get you in there alone for a little over $100. About 7 times that amount, and I can get you alone in there with her for $1,000. We can get that hooked up for $1,000. Well, what does she do? Man, what doesn't she do?
Auntie, chill!
Just saying. Just saying. You still think this is a skit? 30 million views. Do y'all think that this woman has time to service that many new clients? By the way, one more time, just to remind you, this is her link tree. This is her link tree that is listed on her Twitter page. So if this is just about that, OnlyFans is first. This body rub service is second. Her Twitter is third. So she's showing you the number in priority that this comes up. She's showing you what the priority order is. What order in the priority this falls for her. She's showing you what it is. She's showing you my OnlyFans, my massage service, and my Twitter. Everything else is to promote. Basically, everything else on here is to promote the OnlyFans and her massage service. Still think it's a skit? I know the internet has conditioned you all to think that everything is a skit, but then again, it's kind of conditioned a lot of you to mentally think that everything is fake, because when you're so used to being entertained, you just tell yourself that everything isn't real. But you take a look at this for a minute now. You can go to her Twitter page, Major Kiss, KYSS, or Kiss Major, KYSS Major. You can go there and go take a look at it for yourselves. The link to her link tree is right there from the world. Now, I can't show you the Twitter page because on her Twitter page, she throw it all out there on Twitter. She throws it all out there on Twitter. So on her Twitter page, she's showing off the goods. She's showing off the goods on her Twitter page. And I'm just wondering if Joe Smith was upset because of the Instagram or if he was upset because of the link tree. I'm wondering if he's upset because of the Instagram or if he's upset because of the link tree. I'm wondering if that's what it is. Because if he took a look at that link tree and saw what I saw, and then if he actually went to go investigate, y'all, if he already knows about her body rub service, then he's upset about the OnlyFans. And dude, she's sitting up here giving niggas $1,000 body rubs. Yo woman is advertising that she will take men into a room alone for $500. She will give you body rub with kiss, aromatic oils, and yo woman is openly advertising that she will give men a sensual touch. That thing does not, folks, listen to me. If you're one of my girlfriends, even if you're some goofy ass little chick, but that's a different matter. Even for the little goofy broads, I've gotten them to go take massages at a few places. There's not a lot of trust, but a few places. I ain't never seen them folks describe a massage as sensual. Ain't never seen that. Folks, when's the last time that you saw, one of these national places that is legit? When's the last time you saw the word sensual on a legitimate massage website? When's the last time you saw that word, sensual? For the legit ones now. I'm not talking about the little Asian ones. I'm talking about the legit ones. When's the last time that you saw that they offer a package of sensual massage? Come on now. You know better than that. You know full well it's a place that has franchises and things. Hell no. You never see the word sensual, sensuous. They're not going to do that. They aren't. Remember, there's an NFL player. What was his name? The NFL player got himself caught up at one of those massage places. Figuring see if he could. Or allegedly, some of them were trying to say he was doing XYZ. I ain't gonna just throw it on him, but if they even think you trying to do something, they're gonna shut that down. Deshaun Watson. Yeah, if they even think you're trying to do something, they're going to shut it down. They're going to shut it down. This woman is literally advertising. Literally. Aromatic oils with a sensual touch. Lomi Lomi is a Hawaiian method that combines a variety of techniques to relax each part of your body. New Ruick Kiss, Healing Seaweed Gel, and the My Body offer a fun healing experience. Sir, your woman is advertising that for $1,000 and some seaweed gel, and of course, her body, that if the gentleman of Georgia will allow her 1 hour with some seaweed gel and her body, and she can work out all them kinks, all them knots, and all that muscular soreness and stiffness you have, she can work all that out for you. Folks, what I'm saying is, I know what you saw, I know what you think, but if this is a skit, someone explain to me what's on this page here, because I can show you where it is. By the way, if you go to her Twitter, it's got a phone number and everything. I'm not going to show it up there again. And I'm not doxing anyone because she posted that publicly, so it's publicly shown on her Twitter page and her link tree and on this website, so the information is publicly available. So we're not doxing anyone. And I'm just saying to all of you here, think about that for a few moments. In the chat rooms, you say you got an appointment for the 7th? I ain't mad at you. He said, yeah, let me go. He said, I got an extra $150, Jason. I'm going to go check it out for you. I'll report back. I got an extra $150. All right. All right. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that she doesn't want more money or she doesn't want more people or she doesn't want more customers. I'm not going to say that because obviously she does. But what I am telling you is that there's some real world implications for this, that just coming back later and going, ha ha, it's just a skit. No, you ain't going to be able to explain all this away. You can't explain this away with, oh, ha ha, it was just a skit. You can't explain this away. You can't explain this away. Not at all. How'd you get caught up, man? How'd you get caught up? Joe Smith, how did you get caught up? This is your life, Joe Smith, Joe Black, Joe Smith. This is your life. How'd you get caught up? Dude, you got caught up because hoes are easy to deal with, at least in the beginning they seem to be. and you tell yourself, well, I ain't got nothing to lose. Dudes who deal with hoes basically feel like they got nothing to lose. Either because they're down and out and they actually have nothing, or they're so emotionally broken and defeated that they feel like they have nothing. So you got to understand, simps can't stand rejection. Simps feel about rejection the same way that you would feel about somebody lashing you across the back with barbed wire. The simps have absolutely no tolerance for displeasure or discomfort in any way. They can't stand it. They can't stand it and they can't take it. They can't take it. It's not going to work. So their first instinct is to get away from it. They don't want it at all. Not at all. They want somebody to spare them that. They want someone to get them away from that because they can't take that. So they go searching for low-hanging fruit. Here's the problem. The fruit keeps getting progressively lower till finally it's on the damn floor. It just gets progressively lower. You're not going to be able to undo that. It's not going to be something you can undo. That's the problem. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife because you got to understand, hoes only know how to deal with the world in one way. They only know how to deal with the world in one way, not 5 or 6, just one. If hoeing can't fix the issue or solve the problem, they ain't trying to do it. If hoeing can't fix it, they're not trying to do it. That's just it. They only have one tool. They only have one tactic. They can't do 5 or 6 different things. If hoeing doesn't get it done, man, forget about it. She ain't trying to hear all that. Hoes want a quick fix. Hoes want a quick fix. Hoes are not trying to sit around and wait around. Hoes want a quick fix. So you see, as soon as they get an opportunity to fix it the way they want to and just do it their way, that's it, man. That's it. The other thing is that hoes, now here's the one that is going to break you simp niggas' hearts. It's going to break your heart, but I'm here to upgrade your to update your files for you.
Join me, and I will complete your training.
Hoes hate men. Hoes don't like men. Hoes use men. Hoes manipulate men. Hoes coerce men. Hoes utilize men. Hoes don't like men. They like what they can get from men, but hoes don't like men. Any fella who's ever talked to strippers at a strip club, them girls, they hate men. That's why most of them have girlfriends. Don't you all understand that? When you find a chick who been out here and she been throwing them draws, East Coast, West Coast, and everything in between, why do you think it is that so many of them got girlfriends? Because they don't like men. They use men, but they don't like men. They don't like men. And let me explain to you what I mean by like, because see, there's a lot of y'all out here who do not understand. So you're going to get tripped up on that word. Because some of you are going to say, well, Jason, I know some hoes and they like men. Well, you are defining like the same way you would for a pimp. Because if you ask a pimp if he likes women, what's he going to tell you? I don't like women. I love women. I love women. Well, that's what he will tell you. But what would most people say? Well, yeah, you may say that you like women, but you don't respect them. Folks, to the fellas who might have been thinking at first that you could argue with me about that hoes don't like men. Fellas, we all agree that hoes don't respect men. They don't respect men. So tell me, how can a woman like you and yet she does not respect you? Think that over for a few moments, fellas. How can a woman like you, but at the same time, she doesn't respect you? Just wanted to go ahead and shut that down real quick. Fellas, hoes don't respect men. Yeah, because they don't like men. She doesn't care how badly her behavior reflects on you. She doesn't care about that. She doesn't give a damn about that. You know why? Because hoes all have the same emotional disposition. Far as she's concerned, it's just a matter of time before you're going to leave. See, that's what happens. Fellas, don't think about that for a few moments. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife because a housewife is a permanent position. But hoes are not accustomed to even the idea or the concept of permanence with a man. Every man is temporary with a hoe. Her boyfriends, the one-night stands, the pimps, her dad, her husband, her son, her high school classmates, dudes on Facebook. Everything is transient. Look it up. Everything is temporary. Everything is just passing through. Nothing is permanent. And at the top of the list of things that are not permanent are men. In the hoe's mind, in the hoe's world, men are not permanent. They are the number one thing in life that is not permanent. It is offensive to them that you would suggest that a man can be permanent. Remember, hoes think they are smarter than you. So any attempt by you to convince her that men are permanent, at best, she will just nod her head and go along with what you're saying to get you out of her face. At worst, she's going to let you know, man, you're stupid. Men are not permanent. Men aren't permanent. I don't know how long this guy will be here, but he'll be here until he's gone. But men are not permanent. They're not. So this fella is just here until finally he's gone. And then she's back to whatever she was doing here before. And that's the way she's going to treat it. So that's the way she treats life. That's why hoes have no problem keeping a job. Hoes, part of their life strategy is making sure that they can lock down resources. So a hoe, if she's not with a fellow who got the resources and she doesn't have him over a barrel, she's going to make sure she keeps a job. She needs it. So she's going to have a fallback position. Hoes fight tooth and nail to keep their jobs. Any fella in here who's dated a hoe, she will fight tooth and nail to keep her job. And the moment that she marries you, she's going to fight tooth and nail to leave that job. And if you're broke, she's going to venture back to the sexual marketplace to see if there's a few more dimes that she can knock out the bank. But fellas, if you want to know what the reason for that is, hoes keep a job. Hoes keep a job. They know they got to keep one. They know they do. Because they know they can't count on you. Or at least until they're sure they got you. Remember, they don't trust you. Hoes don't trust men. Hoes don't trust men. See, this is why it's stupid for men to run around talking about, fellas, let me tell you right now, if you got a chick with a body count over a dozen, you got a hoe. She's had sex with so many men she can't remember them all. You got a hoe. Fella, stop being in denial. That's what you got. You got a chick with 2 or 3 kids by 2 or 3 different niggas. First of all, she got 1 kid by 1 dude. That's enough. But if she's got multiple kids by multiple dudes, nigga, you got a hoe. Now, here's the thing. I didn't say there aren't some cool hoes out there. There are. There are some cool hoes out there. It's like, hey, you cool people. But that doesn't mean you make a permanent commitment to them. That doesn't mean you make a permanent attachment. Just because a chick is cool does not mean that you put yourself at a disadvantage. Fellas sit up here, and if they are lame, if they're simplified, if they're desperate, then they start taking a chick who's cool to kick it with, and because his options are low and his options are few, he then starts saying, well, let me see if I can hold on to this, because what happens with lames is they start looking for dependability. Well, can I get one, and can she be dependable? All right, she been run through, but I think she got that out of her system now. So now that she's got that out of her system, let's just see if we can go ahead and well, baby, I mean, it's gonna be a little tough now. I ain't gonna lie. Now this is gonna be a little tough right here, but let's see if we can go ahead and push past Mr. Marcus and his homeboy. Baby, I love you so much, I'll overlook Mr. Marcus and his homeboy because my options are few. The money is low, my options are few. Fellas, some of you don't have any experience, and hoes can see you, a sucker coming from a mile away. You don't have experience with women. You're recessive. You're regressive. You are not assertive. You certainly don't have direction. You're looking for a female to drop those benefits on. Hoes can see when a male is easy prey and he's just looking for a chick to drop the benefits on. Folks, I'm not, as you could all tell tonight, I'm not discussing dating. I'm discussing power dynamics. Hoes are always looking to gain power. They're always looking to get the advantage. They're always looking for leverage. They are never confused. Hoes are not confused. Hoes are not confused. Hoes are going to keep a backup plan. Why do you think this chick has gone this far out? OnlyFans, body rubs. She was already in the legitimate pornography business. She's like, I can't make it over there anymore. I'm 52 years old. Ain't nobody really paying top dollar for this. Not over there. But if I can massage, pardon the expression, the technique a little bit, maybe I can parlay something different, because I feel like I'm so damn smart. I feel like I got extra skills if you can put me in a room alone with a man. If I'm in a room alone with a man, I'll know how to massage his ego, and he'll just give me $1,000 to talk to him. There's some of you fellas out there that you are lame, you are depressed, you are emotionally deficient, your money is run low or run out, you are old, you're no longer at the top of anyone's list of prime viable options, you ain't got no more fight left in you, you don't want to be rejected, you don't have a lot to offer, and you're just looking for an easy win. Man, you have surrendered. You've thrown your hands up. You just don't want no trouble. This fella just doesn't want any trouble. And those are the females who are looking for you. Those are the ones who are looking for you. They are looking for a sucker who is ready to surrender. And she's like, okay, bring it on over here. Drop it off on over here. And we know when you've got hit your last leg, because now you're like, you know what? Here's the thing. Men don't make these decisions with their eyes closed. Men make their decisions about being with a hoe with our eyes wide open. What happens is you hope you gonna change the hoe. Well, this is the best I can do, and this is the best I can get. Well, maybe I can change her. If I just sit here long enough and if I show her it's true love, and I ain't nothing like them other fellas out there. I ain't nothing like them, baby. I'm totally different. See, I'm going to treat you right. I mean, I can't do what they do over there, but it's just, I'm going to make up for that with love and personality. Okay. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife, dude. You're not going to change it. Last but not least, I want you all to remember one more thing. The reason you can't turn hoes to housewives is because hoes discuss all relationships in terms of transaction. Fellas, when you hear a female talk about dating or marriage and she calls it a business arrangement, that's your first clue. Oh, you's a hoe. But fellas don't have to be told that. Fellas, understand when hoes up here and get bold with it. You see the way she's talking? Hoes are bold. Even the little quiet little glasses wearing ones. Hoes are bold, man. Hoes are bold. So when she starts talking that talk, fellas are just so desperate to have sexual access, they just start overlooking and dismissing things you have absolutely no business ignoring. You have no business ignoring somebody being this blatant with the disrespect. When she's standing there talking to him like that, dude, this is it. She's going full-blown renegade hoe on you. She's like, this is it. Okay, you found out about the OnlyFans. I know he gonna flip. I know he's gonna trip because I know that he's not gonna be good on that. Well, okay, fine. I'ma just stand strong on him. I'm just gonna stand firm on him. I'm going to stand 10 toes down. No, I am not giving up my OnlyFans. No, I am not giving up this body rub. No, I'm not giving nothing up. I'm not backing down from anything. You going to have to back down, but you want me to stop? I ain't stopping nothing, and that's all I'm going to say about it. Y'all saw she got firm with him. She said, that's it. I'm telling you now. So you did all this and didn't tell me nothing. Well, I'm telling you now. That's her way of saying, hey, that's it right there. This is what I'm doing, and you can take it or leave it.
And deal with it, nigga.
In the 21st century, I'm just going to tell you all right now, a lot of fellas are going to get played, run through, run over, messed over because they refuse to just accept reality. Dude, stop trying to get the low-hanging fruit. Stop trying to get an easy win. There are no easy wins. You grab a hoe, she gonna flip on you. She's running game. She's got a strategy. She has an angle. You fall for the bait. Next thing you know, you're snared in it. Here's the problem, folks. You can call it a skit if you want to. We've all seen what his woman doing and has done now. We've all seen it. Ain't no skit in the world gonna clean this up. See, that was the reason he could be with her, because folks didn't really know what the pedigree was. And they really didn't know what her history was. Now everybody's Googled her history. Man, look here. You can't sit up here and, oh, well, this is skit. Oh, we were just playing. Hey, this ain't playing. Mr. Marcus don't play. Y'all seen Mr. Marcus. Mr. Marcus don't play. Not at all. Not at all. So yeah, your man Joe Smith is going through some things over there. He's going through some things over there right now. However, you might disagree. Therefore, the telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Your personal access code to the program that all your favorite YouTubers love to hate watch. This is the one. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, CashApp, Super Chat, Venmo. Thank you very much for your support. We appreciate that. Gonna also see about going ahead and turning on Zoom here. Do be aware that Zoom does get priority. However, if you're gonna join us on Zoom, please make sure that you do turn on your microphone and your camera. Please make sure you're prepared to do that. If you don't turn on the microphone and camera, we'll assume that you're trolling and permanent vacation. Let's go ahead and toss it up. We're already on Zoom also. The telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. We're talking tonight about Hoez to Housewives Part 2, Basketball Edition, starring Joe Smith and Kisha Chavis, a.k.a. Yasmin Pendavis, a.k.a. Low Brown Sugar, a.k.a. Foe Jane. So, yeah, y'all, he was hoping to keep that under wraps so at least he could have some pride about himself. Okay, she out there, but at least I don't have to sit here and claim it. At least it's not gonna be that bad. So, all right, we just I don't have to sit up here and get totally shamed. So now he's like, oh hell, that didn't age well at all. That didn't age worth a damn. He's going through some things, people. He's going through some things. Let's go ahead and see if we can jump over here to the phone lines. Let me get caller from area code 469. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up? This is Ocean Drive Slim out of Houston, Texas.
Okay, what's your first name again?
Ocean Drive Slim.
All right, Ocean Drive Slim, what's on your mind?
Man, I just like the high fire that you spitting, Jason, as usual. You know, these dudes act like they not gonna go outside in the end, but you knew she was in the beginning. It's like, I just can't believe y'all continue to go outside like this, and you should already know. You should know what you're dealing with, bro. Stop saving these hoes, bro. We'll make it a better place. Let these hoes die.
Well, let me ask you something here.
They ain't doing no more.
Let me ask you something here. Now, you're in the NFL NBA city, so you know what you see there. Why do you think that these guys do that?
I think they special, Jason. They don't know the game. They think they're going to change for them. It's like they got some type of special sauce or something. Then they just end up going outside again. I just don't know. I can't see it. It's like they not watching the game. Y'all outside all week, every weekend. You know these are the same hoes outside. You know that. So I don't even know how even the niggas that's having real motion is even falling for this, because you see them. I mean, but it goes back to the fact that they've been simps since they was young. That's what it is.
It never ends well because it can. Take a look at him now, man. I mean, basically, his finances have been messed up for a while. Now he's got this chick who basically was she showing. Most likely what happens was she figured she must not done her paperwork on him. She must not run the paperwork properly. and just figure, well, he's an ex-NBA player, so he probably got some money squirreled away and everything will be sweet. And then she got up in there and realized, oh, hell, this nigga ain't got nothing. No, I mean, he really ain't got nothing. Oh, hell. And now, because bread didn't break the way she wanted to, she's doing what hoes do. Now she's going for his dignity. Now she's going for his masculinity. She's just like, hey, I don't have to respect you. I don't have to respect nothing, nigga. What you gonna do? That's why she holding that cell phone to make sure he don't go left on her. But nigga, what you gonna do? I make money. I make my own money. It's not like you really doing great things for me. It's not like you can upgrade me. So now she's just, I warned you all, when women become contemptuous like this, you can't ignore that. You can't get with hoes because hoes are quick to show contempt. Because hoes always see you as a temporary pit stop on her way to the next place. Now that he's let it be known he's openly displeased, she's like, okay, and this is why now she's sitting there telling herself, and this is why I need an OnlyFans. This is why I need to be making my own money, because she'll do something like this. This is the way hoes work. Fellas, you can't turn hoes to housewives because you're sitting up here talking about happily ever after with the hoe. Meanwhile, she's thinking, well, I'm good. I have to keep my OnlyFans because you're going to leave. Then she'll get up and go do something like this. And then she'll say, it's a good thing I kept my OnlyFans because I knew you were going to leave. It's a good thing I held on to my OnlyFans because I knew you were going to leave. I knew the whole time one day you were going to leave. So that's why I need to keep my OnlyFans and keep my body rub thing so I can go ahead and take care of myself. She'll sit up here and set that whole thing up. And then when you don't respond the way she wants to, when you respond like you got some sense and won't take it anymore, now it's your fault. I'll let you have the last word.
Yeah, no, it's sad, man. Y'all supposed to know as soon as you get in that thing and it's ran through. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to say too much. Y'all can be mad at me. But, man, we ain't saving these hoes, man. Leave them hoes for the streets. That's for the streets. They for the streets, man. If you let that one that got away get away, you better be okay with getting old and rich and just chilling, man, on the beach, man. Do not try to house these hoes. You gonna be out here looking weak in the streets.
Thank you very much for giving us a call today. Call night. Bottom line, man, you can see what it is. She's ready to cut bait now. She's ready to cut bait. She's ready to go ahead and trip off. She's like, okay, he's going to shut it down. I'm going to just go ahead. I'm going to take his manhood on my way out the door. That's what this was about. This was all about, okay, screw it. You going to do what you going to do. So I might as well go ahead and rip out his manhood on my way out the door. I might as well do that. He didn't give me the kind of life I wanted anyway. We got's a big house, but we ain't got nothing else. Just a bunch of debts and struggles. So I'm just gonna go Jada Smith to the third power. Call from area code 443. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, Justin, this is Immigrant B1 from Augusta, Georgia.
Immigrant B1 from Augusta. You ready to go get your massage on?
First of all, she's like 2.5 hours away, so I'm not driving that far just for that. It's not worth it.
I don't know, brother. She's throwing it out there for $1,000, so it's either incredible or an incredible scam, one or the other. So I don't know, brother. She's also got $150, so you might want to give yourself a birthday present. I don't know.
Anyway, I wanted to ask you, like, realistically speaking, for a husband, what do you think his options are right now to save what little dignity he has left?
Nigga, what options? What options? That's it. She just sat here and castrated him in front of the world. Ain't no way around that. Did. That is it. She just gave him the business in front of the world, man. In front of the world. Yeah. She let him have it. She let him have it. Right there, she emasculated him in front of everybody. In front of everyone. She didn't back down from that. She didn't back down. She literally just sat here and told the whole world, you can call this skit if you want to. That's not cool when you sit up there and say something like that. That's not cool when you sit up here and say something like, you ain't got no money and I told you to fix this and you ain't fixed it and it's my body, my choice. Okay, no. What kind of skit is this?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
What kind of skit is this where you leave your damn dignity? You knew that the thing about Cheesecake Factory was a skit because at the end of it, dude's like, you know what I'm going to do is put you out over here. For folks who didn't see the whole video. This thing here is just like, at the end of it, she's just like, well, now you know. And you know it's just like, okay, what's he going to do? Because if he jacks her up, if he walks back over there and jacks her up, they own video. So he knows she's recording him because she feel like she can sit up here and smart off at the mouth and talk to him crazy. It's like, okay, I'm recording you. I mean, she was super bold with that video camera on. Now, when she was talking to TMZ, she was more humble. When she was talking to them.
Yeah.
When she was talking to them, she wasn't talking to them like that. She wasn't. Now, she was being defiant, but she wasn't sitting there talking to them smart enough like that. When she was in front of him, I mean, she's all types of smart at the mouth. All types of smart at the mouth.
Yeah.
So she knows what she's doing. She's like, hey, look here. If I'm going out with my boots on. And what I'm saying is, she was upset about it, and she's just like, okay, let me just tell you what I really think of you. And this was a problem, and it's your fault that I'm hoeing, is what she's saying. That's what she's saying.
Yeah, essentially.
She said, it's your fault that I'm out here hoeing. Because if you had been taking care of your business, and remember, she's the one who determines whether you're taking care of the business. If you had been taking care of it, I wouldn't have to do this. That's literally what she's sitting up there telling folks.
Listen, it's not fucked up, and we're going to. Okay, look. So I have an OnlyFans page, and he's mad because he's just now finding out about it.
Of course, I'm mad I'm just finding out about it.
I'm not doing it with anybody but myself, so why should I have to tell you my choice, my body, my fucking choice?
Your partner, you're supposed to come to me and talk to me.
Joe, I've been talking to you about mad things. I've been asking for solutions to shit. You not giving me none, so I created one.
That's no solution. Not in my book. That's no solution.
You knew who the fuck I was when you met me.
Before,
I
knew that.
thought that I would never have to go back to anything like this again. But unfortunately, that's not the case right now.
There you go. You knew what I was before now. You knew what I was, and I've been telling you to come up with a solution, and you ain't come up with nothing. So it's your fault. It's not my fault I'm doing it. This is your fault that I'm out here doing this. That's your fault. So you can't really be mad at me because it's your fault I'm doing it. Ain't that right out the Hoez playbook?
Yeah. I mean, what she's essentially saying is that there's a certain lifestyle that she feels that she deserves, and she's not willing to live, I guess, in quotes, a regular lifestyle, because she could have easily just gotten a regular job and still survive. I mean, people do it every day.
No. She can't do that though, bruh. Y'all gotta understand, hoes think they're stars. That's the other issue. Every hoe you ever met thinks she's a star. She'll be the little most buck-toothed, bug-eyed little thing, but she thinks she's a star, man. Every hoe you ever met tells herself that she's a star, dude. Everyone. They tell themselves they're a star. They tell themselves they're lit. They tell themselves all kinds of things, man. They tell themselves all kinds of things. So fellas need to watch out for that kind of innate narcissism. And at the end of the day, she's going to expect more. She's going to expect more. So, and like, she's had a little singing career. She had a little singing career, I think, over in Europe and some other places, but not anything to brag about. But she's had a little singing career. So, like I say, these hoes waiting for something to come back around. They've been waiting for something to come back around,
Yeah.
and it hasn't really popped off like that. It hadn't really popped off like that. So, what are you gonna do when you've been sitting around waiting all this time? And you've been waiting for one of your old friends in the music industry or whatever to give you that call, and that hasn't really happened. Okay, what are you going to do now? What do you do when the phone stops ringing? Now what? What do you do?
Yeah.
And what she's doing is
It
what
can't just be
hoes,
regular.
what hoes always do. Hoes are like, look here, let me go back to making it do what it do. Let me go back to making it do what it do. And she told her husband, well, you going to carry this. Because it's your fault. If I'm humiliating you, it's your fault that I'm doing it.
It's your fault.
Talk about psychological abuse, man. Talk about psychological abuse. If I'm doing it to you, it's your fault that I'm doing it to you. It's not my fault, it's yours.
Because if a man said the same thing to her while abusing her either emotionally or physically, no one would blink about calling it abuse. Everybody would say, yes, this is obviously abuse, and he'd probably be on his way to prison or something. But now it is the other way around. All of a sudden, she's just hustling or she's just doing what she has to do. A bunch of people making excuses for her. It's very unfortunate.
Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to get over here to the phone lines here in just a moment. I want to show everyone exactly what I mean here. If you go to her Facebook page, where is the thing here? Okay, we're messing up. If you go to her Facebook page, where did that thing go? Yeah, it's supposed to be in there. What happened to you? All right, we are messing up here. Well, it was on there, so it actually is in there. They're messing up. It's not me. But she thinks she's a star. She thinks she has been one actually for a while. She actually thinks she has been one for a while. And she doesn't want to let that go either. Hoes love attention. That's why it's so easy to get somebody up in bed. You just say hi to them. It's just okay. They love getting attention. So after a little bit, that's all they really want. That's all they're really interested in is proof. That's the only thing they want to prove to themselves. And it gets easy doing it. It gets easy doing it like that. They want to believe that they can go ahead and keep doing that. So, brother, like I say, they're in his case here, she said, let me go ahead and emasculate him on my way out the door. And I'm not really sure he recovers from that. I'm not really sure he recovers from that. Somebody explain to me how he does that. Let me go ahead and show you all something
because no
other
woman can respect him.
This is from her Facebook page on your screens. What you see on your screens there, that's from her Facebook page.
Yeah, I see.
That's from her Facebook page. Dated back man, 2009. Think about that for a few moments. So imagine how she sees herself today. She's like, man, I could have been a star.
Oh, yeah.
I could have been a star. And does she blame herself for it? Hell no. Does she look at herself and blame herself or say, well, this is my fault or whatever? Well, she's not saying that. She's saying, okay, well, this is your fault. If she didn't make it where she wanted to be, she's blaming you. I could have been a star. I could have been a contender. I could have been out there. I was rubbing elbows with who's that, Drew Hill or whatever. I was out there, and that's where I'm supposed to be. And if I'm married to an NBA player, former NBA player, you supposed to get me back there.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not pinned. If you go to her Facebook page, it's under Kiss Major, and it's under her photographs. It's not hard to find. She doesn't have a bunch of photographs like that. So if you go there, it's there. Oh boy, you know what? I gotta do this. I gotta do it. My only thing is I'm scared to just throw pictures up at random because she does flagrant stuff that'll get your page flagged or whatever. But let me go try this real quick, real fast. If I can make this work without causing a catastrophe over here, I'll try it. But like I say, she does stuff that's real flagrant, so I don't want to do too much here, but I just do want to show some things. Let's see if we can do this without getting into any major trouble. And there she is, booed up. There she is. So you can see she tried everything. She tried Zaddy. She was trying it all. 2009 was a busy year for her, huh? 2009 was a busy year. Yeah, buddy, 2009. She was waiting for that ship to come in. 2009, she was waiting for that ship to come in. 2009, that ship didn't come in like she was hoping it would, but she sure was out there 14 years ago. She was trying to make it work. She was trying. By the way, in case you were wondering, Def J radio interview with Lil Jon and Shorty Putt. There's a name destined for stardom. Okay. I just wanted you all to see for yourselves. By the way, there she is with Lil Jon. Okay. You see, this is where she was 14 years ago. If you see this, it starts to put it in a new light. Starts to put it in a new light now, doesn't it? When you see this, it looks a little bit different. Dude, can you really claim ignorance under these circumstances? Can you really claim that you are ignorant? No. You thought you were going to have an easy mark. And what you found out was when you play the game plays you. I'll let you have the last word.
So the final question I want to ask you was, I know you've spoken about like women like her who obvious with their hoeing, like they had sex on camera, and then you have the strippers. I know we also spoke about the church girls, but are there other female archetypes that you think that we as men need to particularly watch out for?
Okay. I would advise you to watch out less for a specific type of female and watch out more for the weaknesses and vulnerabilities in yourself. Hoes aren't the only type of lecherous, treacherous females you got to watch out for. But remember, every exploitative female is looking for one thing. She is looking for you to give her an opening. She is looking for you to be more concerned with getting next to her than you are staying focused. They're waiting for you to be vulnerable. They're waiting for you to lead, throwing dollars. They're waiting for you to be thirsty. They're waiting for you to be desperate. They're waiting for you to be lonely. These are all character flaws and holes in your game. She's just waiting to see if you open a vulnerability. And as soon as you open it, she is going to move heaven and earth to convince you that she alone is the solution to all your problems. And if you would just let her have her way, she could fix all that. Now, of course, she doesn't have to say that because she's going to speak non-verbally. As soon as you show her that you're weak and you're vulnerable, as soon as you show her that you're needy, as soon as you show her that you're willing to overlook red flags, brother, there's always red flags. But what happens is females understand something. Every female in here listening to me live or recorded right now, they all think the same thing. Fellas, they think pretty low of us as men. You know why? Because females understand something. They understand that sex or the prospect of it makes men turn their brains off. So as soon as she starts turning on that there's some sex, there might be some sex in the equation, females know this makes men turn their brains off. Men stop thinking. They turn their brains completely off. So if a female wants to intellectually and emotionally disarm you, she just turns up the sexual quotient. She turns the sexual volume up. Why do you think 20 years ago twerking didn't really exist like that except in Louisiana? And now every single female on the planet, in every single country, knows how to do it to greater or lesser degrees of competence. Why do you think they're all doing that? Because they figured out, hey, sex turns their brains off. If I want to get over on a guy, jiggle some sex in front of him, or jiggle the possibility of some sex in front of him, and he'll stop thinking. He'll turn his brain off. And women wouldn't do it if it didn't work. Women would not do it. Why do you think every single female you know has got booty pictures on Facebook, booty pictures on Instagram, twerking videos, some revealing? Everywhere you go, they got their butt cheeks or their breasts hanging out. Why do you think that is? Because they're like, yeah, men don't think. They don't think. If you jiggle some sex in front of him, he won't think. That's why. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. That is females' experience with us. That's their experience with us. That if they can dangle some sex in front of us, don't even give it to us, but if they just dangle it, we stop thinking. We turn our brains off, including our survival instincts. Including our survival instincts. In the chat room, Triple X, I think Jesse's put on some weight too, as a matter of fact. So I think she's on a weight loss journey now. So, oh well. She's on a weight loss journey, so y'all know what that means. If Instagram didn't work out or whatever, and I need the OnlyFans, and wait a minute, I'm on a weight loss journey. You know, it's there it is. There it is. Yeah, buddy. Okay. Yeah, somebody's looking to cash out. Somebody is looking to cash out. Let me get caller from area code 202. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, good evening, big brother Jason. This is brother Elijah calling out of Port of Spain, Trinidad.
Oh, brother Elijah, what's on your mind?
Brother, I just got a quick question. I'm gonna release this. What's up with our poor brother? Like, why didn't he do his due diligence before he married this woman? I'm not knocking this woman in her past and nothing like that.
He did. He did do his. He sat there and said, when she said, "You knew what I was when you met me," and he said, "Yeah, but you supposed to be over that. You supposed to be done with that." So, in other words, he did the dumbest thing that you can possibly do as a man with a woman. He took a hoe's word for it. He took a hoe's word for it.
Not in my book. That's our
You knew
solution.
who the fuck I was when you met me.
Before,
Before,
we met, yeah, I
and
knew
I
that.
thought that I would never have to go
Man,
back to
get out of
anything
here.
like
I knew
this
that
again.
beforehand,
But
but
unfortunately,
no.
that's not the case
'Cause after
right
that,
now.
after that, everything's supposed to change.
Everything did change.
No. Obviously it hasn't.
No, it had to. I had
Obviously
to do
it
something.
hasn't. You stood out there showing your body.
So yeah, he took a hoe's word for it. She told him, I'm going to do things. And here's the other thing is, it's been years since she was out there like that, really. Because I want to say this like, I don't know where those videos were from. That looks like it's from about 10, 15 years ago, at least from the VHS days. So that's what I was saying from the beginning. He felt that at her age, she's got all that out of her system. That she's not going to do anything else to shame him. That's all. He can go tell the world, well, it's okay that I picked up the low-hanging fruit because that's in her past. Hoes don't have a past. Hoes have a pathology. And fellas got to get that through their damn heads. Hoes intend to hoe from the cradle to the grave. It is a lifestyle. Why do you think there's so many little old ladies in nursing homes catching STDs? Hoes intend to hoe it up from the cradle to the grave. They're just looking for an idiot dumb enough to turn off his brain and then allow her to just tell him whatever she's going to tell him. And then he goes for it, knowing full well what he really wants. What Joe Smith wanted was an easy win. That was what Joe wanted. He wanted an easy win. Think about this for a moment. He was on that thing that showed it talking about his finances being messed up and A-Rod has to counsel him. Imagine having a basketball player having to be lectured by a baseball player over his finances. He's got to admit to the world his money's all messed up. $60 million is gone and blown. That's a pretty devastating experience. That's a pretty crushing experience to have to go through. And have to put that in front of the world. Well, there he is. There he is. In front of everyone. So now he's in an unenviable position where people know about his business. So what are you doing? Man, he just wants to keep it quiet now. He just wants to keep it quiet. He just wants to keep it low key. Let me find a cool little chick to kick it with. She'll be freaky as hell. Well, she's messed up in the game. Well, so am I. So he sat here and told himself, fellas, y'all need to know your worth. But talking about know your worth, the women out here playing games and throwing cap is know your worth, fellas. He told him, but what he told himself, he felt sorry for himself, and he said, I messed up in the game. Well, she messed up in the game too. She's messed up in the game. Well, I can't hold against her. I'm messed up too. So we'll be two messed up people together. And what he found out is, by the way, he thought he had everything to lose. He thought he had lost everything he had to lose already. And what he just found out is, no, you've actually got one more thing left to lose. One more thing. And she's going to be the one who takes it from you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brother, I got a question. I got a question. Like, what is it in us men? Because if this is happening to this brother, there's millions of Joe Smiths out here. Like, what is it that makes us so desperate to just try to fall for the lowest hanging fruit, brother?
Just like hoes, or should I say sluts?
Yes, sir.
Equate sex
Yes,
with
sir.
love. Simps equate sex with respect. You all can go ahead and write that down. But just like sluts,
Yes, sir.
just like a slutty chick equates sex with love, simps equate sex with respect. And that, well, this chick must really respect me because she throwing them legs open. And that's really the way they take it. They really take it that if she's laying down with me, she respects me. Now, brother, did she respect the last 80 or 90 men she slept with? Did she respect all of them too? Well, yeah, she did. They just did her wrong. Well, she was just misguided. Well, she was just lost. Whatever rationale he has to tell himself to go ahead and finish carrying through with this, that's what he does. But simps think that
Yes, sir.
sex and respect are equivalent. Just like sluts think that sex and love is equivalent. So that's why females know when they see a sucker, he's down and out or whatever, he's got low self-esteem. She can see that, and then she's like, okay, well, he thinks if I sleep with him, that means I respect him. As Brother Neely Fuller said, he's confused. He's confused.
Yes, sir.
Just because she's the best you can do, this is a crushing thing for males who are in a compromised position to think about, but it's true. Just because she's the best you can do, that doesn't mean that she respects you. What if all the women you qualify for don't respect you?
Yes, sir.
Now that can be a hard pill to swallow right there. Well, Jason, I can be so low on the totem pole that the only females I qualify for are ones who don't respect me? Yeah, that can be where you end up at. Sure can. I'll let you have the last word.
Yes, sir. No, thank you, brother, for tonight's broadcast. It was a very eye-opening broadcast. You know, I hope our brother gets it together where I kind of feel sorry for him, but at the same token, he made this mistake with his eyes open. Be $1, brother. Thank you.
This is The Biz. Thank you very much for your phone call here tonight. And I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, CashApp, Super Chat, Venmo. Big shout out here to my man, Black Voltron. We appreciate that. Thank you very much for your support tonight, brother, here. This honor of the business is sponsored by, this hour of the business is sponsored by Black Voltron Reloaded. Keep on teaching these dudes this necessary game of power dynamics. Thanks for Vicarious Lesson, Joe Smith, New Black Media for the win. Thank you very much for your support, Black Voltron. We appreciate that. As always, Shawnee, she's trying to get her chips up here. Swift and Wesson, Mr. SF Black, and everyone else, Mahako and everyone else who's contributed to support tonight's program. We appreciate that. Let me go ahead and see if we can get over here to Zoom. All right, I got my man Jamar. It's been a minute since we had you on here, brother. It's been a minute. I want to say back doing Pearly Things, was trying to get her life back together here. Make sure you got your audio on, brother. Okay, he needs to speak, but I don't know if his audio is on. No, brother, your audio is not on. He thinks it is, but it's really not. Yeah, I've been hearing everything else here just fine, so my audio is doing good here. Let me go ahead and put you back in the waiting room, see if we can get that straightened out for you here. Let's see if we can get that straightened out for him. Let me go ahead and try to get WMC. Let's go ahead and get WMC up here. All right, WMC, what's on your mind, brother? Okay, are they having trouble hearing me tonight or what? Okay. Give me just a moment here. I hope I'm not false flagging on this. Let me see.
Muted.
Okay, there you go. All right, that is my fault there. I had the buttons. I can hear you now, brother. I didn't. It was my audio was messed up. All right, Jamar, tell Jamar to call back in. It was on Zoom. Jamar, you can call back in, brother. It was my mistake on that. All right, WMC, what's on your mind, brother?
Okay, so about 2 years ago, I worked with Joe Smith in setting up a camp that he had for the Atlanta area. And I actually got a chance to meet her. And they have a very interesting relationship dynamic. Joe's a real cool guy. But just to call it what it is, kind of a simp acting dude. And you can tell off the rip that she runs him and that whatever she says goes, and just the way she runs him around. I'm not surprised, just actually being able to see their dynamic and seeing them interact with each other. So I just kind of wanted to share my experience working with him and meeting her firsthand with you guys. with your listeners and you.
Brother, there are there are a million Britney Renners out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a million of them. Now, some of you have advantages that the rest of us don't have. So if you live in an NFL, NBA, major league city, y'all actually have the opportunity to bump into these guys a whole lot more than those of us from mid-sized cities or cities that don't have a franchise. So you kind of get to see you at least get to see it in the real world. It's not like it's a website somewhere. You're like, hey, I saw this guy somewhere and you saw him with his mistress, his girlfriend, or whatever. It's like, okay, I seen this chick. It's like, he's keeping some kind of tacky company over there and whatnot. But there's a Britney Renner everywhere, man. There's a Britney Renner everywhere.
And if I could say one other thing, you made a great point. With me being in Atlanta and working in sports marketing, I meet a lot of athletes, and basketball players in particular are particularly soft and simpish and just kind of, they've been coddled so much because, to be an NBA player, you have to be so good and so exceptional. They've been coddled all through their life. They've been given everything. So these females really see them like free lunch. So, I mean, like I said, I'm not surprised at what I'm seeing.
Well, definitely, I think in a lot of cases, football, I think, in my opinion, is different.
Yeah, those guys are a little bit more rough.
Well, also because they're kind of cultivating themselves to move into a coaching position. In basketball, that's not really as common. In football, it's basically a given today that at some point they're going to expect you to, take a coaching position or a commentating position. Yeah, basketball, not so much. So and everybody wants to be the next Kobe Bryant. So as soon as these guys can make 2 hoops, they're going to be trying to get into the league. Damn a degree, damn connections. And just the system is different. I think just the way the NBA does things, I don't really think they have a groupie filter at all. I don't think they really protect them in any way. There isn't a culture. And because basketball is not as aggressive as football, just by its definition, football is about protecting yourself. Basketball, these guys aren't really conditioned or think to protect themselves. I think they really think they're more glamorous. Football is taught to be a more gritty thing. Basketball is taught to be more glamorous. So dudes are trying to figure out how to be as glamorous as they can be. So once again, you can't be glamorous and simultaneously be protective. You can't do that. You're going to give up something. And what they find out the hard way is these guys walk out there, and I think they just get so used to the idea that I think they really do tell themselves these women love them. I think they really do tell themselves they got the upper hand, and they don't realize when they've lost it.
Yep, and it's like they're so used to everything being handed to them, especially NBA players, that they don't know how to get it on their own. So what she's saying, no drive and all that stuff, whatever, because that's a bad situation to be disrespected by your wife. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna kick the guy, but sometimes they're just so used to everybody doing everything for them that they really don't have drive outside of that sport. They don't really know what to do, as far as finances and getting different things going, without someone, there doing it for them, like people have been doing it for them all their life and all their careers. So
yeah, you begin to get dependent on it. You get dependent, and they catch them early, man. They catch them early. They catch them young, and just that system, the way that's just set up, man, it shepherds them into it, and then they're just sitting ducks. And now, in his case, the money is gone, the friends are gone, the career is gone, and now he's got this porn chick who's looking for a second or third or fourth act in life, and now she's just like, you know what? You're more valuable to me as a scandal than you are as a husband.
Wow.
That's where she's at today. You know what? You're more valuable to me today as a scandal. Wow. I think I can get more use and more mileage out of you just emasculating you. Because there's the other thing about it, brother. Now, according to what I read, he met her in 2016. He married her in 2018. Okay, fine. So they've been married for 5 years. Somewhere along the line, she found out what the finances really were. He's probably got a big house somewhere that he bought with the last of his little old money. But somewhere along the line, she found out what the finances really are. Now she's angry. Now she's just angry because she's like, I'll be damned. So I went all the way with you and you ain't got nothing. You don't have anything. So let me just go ahead and I'm just going to punish you. Now I'm just going to punish you. Yeah, your woman is out here. You damn right. I'm giving massages and rubs. I'm on OnlyFans. I'm on Twitter. Damn OnlyFans. You can go to her Twitter page and see her throwing it open. So she's like, yeah, this is how I'm going to punish you for not performing.
Yeah. So I don't know if you showed the video from TMZ where she was up there crying and all that stuff. I kind of joined a little bit late. But even in that video, it's just the vitriol she had towards him. Even though she was faking the cry and everything, it was just so much vitriol behind that, especially what she was saying, just emasculating him completely in public. Like I said, I really feel bad for the guy. But I want to ask you one question, if I would.
Sure.
So I know a lot of times you see these NBA players, they like to deal with these adult actresses or whatever. Like, why do you think that is, that that's so common that those guys, and what is it about their psyche that you see that makes them, receptive to something like that, to be with someone with that type of...
They have dysfunctional sexual relationships. Long story short. They remember, I got to get into it. There's a reason that a Jerry Sandusky could exist. Jerry Sandusky, they call them predators for a reason. And Jerry Sandusky was looking for a easy target. I don't know why I freeze frame right there with her, but anyway, Jerry Sandusky was looking for an easy target, man. And he had learned the kinds of kids he could go after. He learned who he could go after. He learned the circumstances. He learned how to prey on them. He could tell the kids who didn't grow up with their fathers. He could tell the kids who had weak, slutty moms. He could tell the kids who their mama would just push the kids off on anybody. He could tell. He could see it. And any hustler, any pimp can see the same damn thing. So you can see when somebody does not have a proper, healthy relationship with their mother, with their father, and then you can step in. These fellas they really don't have those kind of good relationships. So I'm not going to cast aspersions on his mother. I am just going to say, fellas, if you marry, it is one thing to just sleep with one. If you marry a chick who is on video getting stretched out by 3-4 dudes, that I used to be a porn chick, you marry that, there's something about your upbringing and your childhood that's normalized in your mind for a female to do. Or let me say this a different way. That you can respect a female who does that. That doesn't diminish her femininity to you. I got to start asking you some questions about your mom and your grandma now. I got to start asking some questions about them. It's like, hey, hold on. How did they get down? Because for you to be comfortable with something this extreme, something going on there. So these are not guys who, by the by, have good positive relationships to begin with. I think that's just something. I think in particular, basketball, and I know I'm going kind of long here, but you asked a question. If you really want my thoughts on it, I think basketball is more of a solitary sport. You can actually get better at basketball by yourself. You can't get better at football by yourself. You have to have help to learn how to play football, to run the plays, hell, to get the ball thrown to you and catch it. Because you got to catch it with momentum and then keep running. Basketball, you can practice that by yourself. That's why every NBA player has a basketball court built in his house. So he can practice that on his own, a basketball court on his house somewhere. So if you've grown up and you can be solitary, there's no standard. Who are the men checking you? The other males telling you, hey, you're on point or whatever. It's just you until eventually you join a team. And you're going to spend a lot of that time by yourself too. So the females you choose to be with, there's no gauge. There's no measure. It's just they're there. They're just there. And there's plenty of room for them to step in. So you got this solitary dude playing a solitary sport who eventually starts to gain some momentum. man, he's going to be easy pickings. Mix in some strange stuff with the home life or unhealthy with the home life, and that just leaves you plenty of unhealthy chicks to take advantage of you for the remainder of your days.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense, Jason.
In basketball's case, I see a lot of that in particular. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. Let me see if I can get Jamar back on here. All right, Jamar, I think I got my situation straightened out. So what's on your mind, brother?
I've got my situation over here. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can. What's on your mind?
Can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, we hear you. I think you must have a delay. If you got those earphones on, that might be causing a delay for you. I know y'all love those Apple devices with the dongles, but I think the earphones might be causing a delay.
No, I'm good now. I got the computer audio on now. The headphones are off.
All right, what's on your mind?
So I was a basketball player growing up, and so I can attest to that last comment you made about it being solitary. You can totally get better by yourself, and that isolation can cause desperation for attention when you're not grounded and centered. And so I watched an interview with Joe Smith earlier today. He actually made an appearance on a show, and he talked about that he's been dealing with a lot of depression, right? The transition depression, which I experienced a decade ago when I left the military, right? After your identity I think he was in the NBA for 16 years. I was in the Navy for 14 years. So after I leave that identity behind, you deal with a little bit of transitional depression. So I think there is a part where she was sort of like a security blanket, and she was sort of like a lick for him because she had the drive to bringing revenue. And so she has multiple businesses, a trucking company, some other things like that. And I think he thought, hey, I can just lean on her, which is not a very manly thing to do, first and foremost. If you're relying on the woman's drive and hustle to bring in money into the household as a man, you're putting yourself in a very precarious situation. And so I think with doing that, he allowed her to do what she wanted. And at the same token, because she was in that lifestyle, he was able to do some things on the side and she not have a big problem with it. Now, one of the things that she mentioned in one of her interviews was that Joe was seeing someone on the side, and this particular woman wanted her all for herself. So she started poking through her IG, her Twitter, and pointed this stuff out to Joe. Joe was oblivious for over a year. He wasn't aware whether she was doing this because he wasn't really paying attention. So he wasn't very attentive. He's out there playing the field a little bit, coping with his depression. And so he set himself up. And at this point in time, when you decide to go on a show and expose your finances to a guy who was probably one of the biggest scammers in the Major League Baseball, which is Alex Rodriguez, you're so desperate that you're opening yourself up to be taken advantage of. So I don't feel sorry for him. But another thing I'll point out is that I've talked to girls and I've dated girls and I've smashed girls who also smashed NBA players, right? I'm Eskimo twins. I'm Eskimo brothers with people like James Harden, right? And what these girls feel is that they exert power because those guys make it rain for them for doing very little effort. So the concept of it ain't tricking if you got it, those guys blow so much money on these girls, they mess up the game because they don't use mindset. They don't use confidence. They use their money. And so now these women are only with them while they have something. Once they have nothing, those women are gone like the wind unless you settle for someone who is compromised with her past, because now there's two broken people coming together to try to make a whole part. And once you break Humpty Dumpty off the wall, you ain't putting them back together again. And I think that's what we're seeing right here.
Well, there's some things there I want to dissect. I haven't seen the particular interview that you're referring to there. I don't know.
I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. Well, it won't show links in the chat, but
okay.
I'll look it up. Because now I'm not sure if he would say that he was, leaning on her finances. I don't know if he was
he
going to
did.
say
He
that.
said it in the interview. He said it.
He said he was dependent on her finances.
She has three businesses, and he admitted that she was more of the ambitious person financially in this movie.
Yeah, ambitious is one thing. Necessary is another. So it's one thing for her to just, she makes her own money. That's cool. But it's another thing for him to say that he was dependent on her, that she was throwing some dollars his way. I'm not so sure that was occurring. I would need to see some confirmation of that.
Sure.
There's a reason why I'm saying that, though. The reason why I'm saying it is, in his mind, based on what you're telling me, I have to confirm it. But if that version of the events is accurate, then it seems that basically he was to a point where, okay, well, if she's all right with quote unquote making her own money, and the amount of producing that I'm doing, which is bare minimum, is okay with her, she got a house to live in, as long as she's willing to accept that, then I'll let that ride. Now, here's the problem. The problem is that Joe is still operating like he still plays for Golden State. You can't have side chicks when you're operating like this. You can't have side chicks that way.
1,000%.
You can't do that. A producer can have side chicks.
Absolutely.
Dude, you can't be sitting up here, your woman makes 3 times as much as you, or at the very least, she's out here having to go get it, and you're not getting anything. It's one thing if you getting it and she getting it. Okay, you're both equally ambitious. It's another thing if you just sitting here with this big old house, but otherwise there's no benefit. Women want 2 things from a man. They want status, that's number 1. And they want financial productivity. That's number 2.
Security, yep. Mm-hmm.
So status is very, very important. Let me deal with the money first. Obviously, money is what we can count. You can't fake that. You either got it or you don't. Status is another issue there, because even if a man doesn't make the most money, he's got drive, he's got ambition, he's made a name for himself. That's actually separate and apart from money. She's with a guy who now his name is synonymous with losing. I mean, I'm not only kicking while he's down, he's right there by my foot. So, I mean, but his name has become synonymous with losing. And what I'm saying is it would be different if he had turned it around, but he hasn't. So as time has gone on, she's now to a point where she's like, you know what? I deserve to kick you around. And now we're getting to that contemptuous stage. Now she's starting to show contempt. And now you see her on video just openly daring him and openly, defying him, just openly. When women start doing that right there, now you've reached a critical mass. You reach a critical stage. That's what a woman does when she's getting ready to hurt you, leave you, or something. But she's made a decision about you. So his compromised position has been allowed to go on for so long that now she has begun to develop, as I taught you all, she's begun to develop certainty. The most dangerous thing you can have in a female is certainty when it comes to hypergamy. Certainty arms hypergamy. When a woman becomes certain that you're not going to do any better, that this is the best you can do, now she's like, okay, I've seen the best you can do. I have nothing to fear. You're not going to change. It's not going to get better, and I don't have to worry about it. So let the real thing come out. That's where he's at today. Right now, tonight, this is where he's at.
Absolutely. And you can tell that she has that contempt because she essentially is taking advantage of this moment to elevate her platform, right? To grow her following, so to speak. And knowing that he is not talking to her, not calling her, doesn't want to hear from her for now. She's making an offensive push, with these interviews, which is continuing the disrespect. But she's like, hey, listen, there's a chance that he might leave me completely. So why don't I capitalize on this moment and make as much money as I possibly can while the spotlight is on me? Which is, to me, that's the type of behavior that she's showing. So that means that she's already ready to go. And you can tell because one of the things he mentioned in the interview, I believe it was on the show called The Morning Hustle, which only has about 2.1K views from this morning. So clearly people aren't really interested in hearing what Joe has to say because he looks depressed, he sounds dusty, and as someone who I realized as a senior in high school that I wasn't going to be playing scholarship basketball on the next level, right? My brother, he was 3 inches taller and started 2 years before me. He did play scholarship basketball. We had very 2 different existences, but the mindset is if I know I'm not going to get it with my athletic prowess, I better learn, understand these books, and then understand business as much as I can. And what I can tell listening to Joe, first of all, barely articulate. I mean, he's not completely illiterate, but you could tell that he just hasn't done the work on his mind. And the thing is we are alive much longer than our athletic capabilities will allow us to really provide for, right? Kobe retired before 40. His body started breaking down by 33 because he went so hard. So the reality is we have to make sure our minds can go do the distance 20, 30, 40 years past our retirement age from these sports. And I can tell that he hasn't done that work. And that insecurity made him hold on to something where he told me, he said in this interview on the Morning Hustle that she had recorded plenty of conversations, but this was the first one that she ever decided to release publicly. So what that tells me is that she's been plotting this moment to kind of use the disrespect to use it for some sort of elevation. She's been plotting this for some time now, and this is just the first one that she's released.
Well, he's been letting her run the house is what's happening.
Yes.
He's been letting her run the house. Now, you mentioned something there, and I want to touch on that for a moment here, because you're talking about what's happened since. And I'm just saying she's been steady posting on Instagram. She's been steady over there posting on Instagram as of a week ago. She's like put up 9 posts, and I'm not even going to click on her stories. I'm pretty sure she's been going all out for stories over there. But let me go ahead and take a look at something real quick here. I want you to just stay where you're at, because I want to see, there's one video in particular here I want to see exactly what she's talking about. She's talking about body count. Now, I haven't even heard what she's going to say here, but I'm intrigued.
Body count seems to be
no,
the
my
topic.
body count is very low. Sorry.
Did you count
I don't
it?
consider, okay, my personal, I just talked to Joe about that about a little while ago when we were arguing. I was like,
Now, she put this up a day ago, so I don't know when she did this interview from the Morning Hustle. So it's from themorninghustle.com, so I don't know when she did the interview. But she said, when me and him was arguing about that, so this might be the one you're talking about. I'm not sure when it was done, but talking about body count, I'm like, baby, you need to stay away from that altogether.
personal body count is low. I don't consider work. It don't matter.
Oh, work
That's
bodies
not the
don't
same
count.
thing.
The
Work
52
bodies
titles don't count.
No. Mm-mm.
So you count the other bodies, and then you count the two. It's 2 different bodies for one for Kiss.
No.
And the other
Kisha, me, the woman, you know what I'm saying? Like, her body count is low.
Okay, but the porn star.
But the porn star, you know, she's
outside.
Yeah, she outside.
Okay.
Only problem with that is they're 2 different names, but the same body.
It don't matter. It's 2 different personas.
Fellas, the other reason you cannot turn a hoe into a housewife is because hoes are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Hoes are crazy, which is why hoes are awesome in bed. Hoes are Olympic in bed. I'm not gonna lie about it. If you want it, they got it.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Hoes are crazy. And this is the way that hoes talk to grown-ass men. This is how they talk to other adults. She's literally sitting there telling other adults, oh, well, body count when I'm working doesn't count. Now, does her husband get to say, well, the side chicks don't count? Well, you know, just the ones I ain't married to don't count, though. We can't count them. That's just me playing. I'm just playing tag, you it. So this is what you're up against. So one more thing, fellas, you can't turn hoes into housewives because, be honest with yourselves, hoes are crazy. Hoes are crazy. It's never going to change. It's never going to get better. She has unresolved childhood issues. Now you're marrying her. So guess what? Her issues have now become your issues. And she's literally sitting here telling the whole world, yeah, all that porn stuff y'all dug up, yeah, that doesn't count. Yeah, Mr. Marcus and his sidekick, that doesn't count. All the stuff they did on me, that doesn't count. All right.
And here's the thing. I think I think that, porn has been normalized in our society. So even some of these rappers, these female rappers, if you look at how they operate in their music videos, the content that they create, the twerking, like you mentioned earlier, men in the strip culture, these NBA players, they go to the strip clubs in every single city. What was the city that the Memphis player got caught? He was in Denver with guns and money, right? So the stripper culture has become normalized, and it's just one step away from being an adult porn star. So I think what it is your standards get lowered and normalized to this lower level where, sure, if you spend time with a stripper, she can convince you that she's really a good person and that she's really just doing this for her dental school degree. But the reality is, don't listen to what someone says. Listen to how they actually operate in the world. Watch their actions.
Well, think about it like having a drug habit. Mm-hmm. These guys get so used to dealing with women on a low gutter level that they can't really relate to a female under quote unquote normal circumstances. If she's not a hoe, that is, either she's not a groupie hoe, a financial hoe, a strip club hoe, a porn hoe, an attention hoe. He doesn't. Everything is commercial transaction for him. Yes. He's not able to interact with a female just on his personality. She brings personality value. You bring it. We interact. It's just, if it's not quid pro quo, this for that exchange. Without that, he doesn't know how to relate to one. So even if you brought him a female with some sense, he would demand to dumb her down into a hoe because he doesn't have a frame of reference for communicating with her.
1,000%. And Mr. Black, I got a question to ask you, because obviously in my mind, when I saw this, I was shaking my head and I was just like, cautionary tale. What is the lesson here in terms of, an average man who has focus and drive, wants to have a woman in his life, wants to provide a decent existence for his family? What should he be focusing on in terms of, should you be aiming for these 8, 9s, and 10s? Because I feel like they've all just commercialized their bodies and their sexual value. Or should you focus on something that for sure is either at your level or below your level, so you don't have to worry? Or is this really, it doesn't matter what level the girl is?
Wrong. All of the above. Same thing I told Immigrant B1 and Brother Elijah. You guys are asking these questions. Bottom line is, it starts with you.
Sure.
It doesn't start with the female. You have to have an agenda. Yep. The red pill guys call it frame. You have to have an agenda. And at that point, the agenda is what will dictate and determine what females are around you or suitable to be around you. Mm-hmm. Fellas get caught up when they go looking for a chick to, quote, spend time with or to, quote, fill the time. That's where you get messed up. When you have an agenda, when you are built, when you have a mission in this world, every female ain't going to fit into your time.
1,000.
They're just not going to fit. So you're first and foremost going to be concerned with how well does she complement your mission and your purpose, not how well she complements your bedroom habits. That's where you get caught up. Any female can study bedroom habits with any man she gets. The one who's interested in you got to do something different, because what works in bed is not going to be what holds you. So first and foremost, you guys need to be focused on yourselves and make sure you solidify your mission, your purpose, making yourself as complete a man as you can possibly be. And that way you won't be compatible with half-assed chicks for anything. You won't. It'll be like hearing fingernails going down a chalkboard to be in the company of someone like that. What I found is that fellas who give themselves idle time or do not have a solidified purpose, that's where hoes get to wiggle their way in. That's where that comes from. When your focus is rock solid, you don't have a whole lot of time for females to begin with. Like me right now, for example, 2 or 3 girlfriends, you got to see me when you see me. Because, I got things to do. I got real stuff to take care of. Joe Smith got a side chick. And we know we making more money than him. Dude, how you got a side chick and we making more money than you? How do you have the time? Oh, that's why you got the time for it. Yeah, you sacrifice the productivity to do what you've always been doing. It happened in your first marriage, it happened in the league, and he hasn't changed. So in his mind, as long as he's still scoring with 2 females at once, then he's good. And you and I are not looking for that. That's what makes him vulnerable, is he measures productivity and value. He's still measuring it by how many females can I bed. Situation is totally raggedy. He's being emasculated by his chick on camera. He's just gone viral for all the wrong reasons. And he's still prioritizing, well, how many broads can I keep? Well, if I lose everything else, if I got them. So if you really want to know how to stay out of trouble, stay focused on your mission. Stay focused on you. You are going to non-verbally communicate to the females what they need to be and what they need to do. Most females, and the answer is going to be no. First of all, non-verbally, you will be letting most females know the answer is no. Yeah, before you even get started, no. And that's really the way you want to start it there. It's a filtering process. But if you don't exemplify the mission you're on, guess what? Your nonverbal language isn't talking very loud. So that's why you have females coming up wasting your time. That's what you're talking about, is how do you keep these chicks who are going to be time wasting? They're a waste of time. Dude, you got to make it very, very obvious. Like, yeah, baby, you don't stand a chance. And also, you better start having a little bit of an ass in you. When chicks know that you will send them on their way unceremoniously, they can tell it by the way you move. That cuts down on a whole lot. And some folks will just say you're being mean or this, that, and the other. It's like, no, I'm thinning out the herd early. My time is more valuable than anything else. And I'm not going to let you waste it. So if you don't qualify, I'm just going to cut to the chase. You don't qualify. If you want to push the issue, you can get humiliated, but you don't qualify. And furthermore, the worst part is you know you don't. You just checking to see, well, hey, do you need a Hoez? If I need one, give me your card. Don't call me, I'll call you. I'll let you have the last word.
Roger, I appreciate that. Yeah, so I'm from Harlem, and I grew up, under the mindset of like, I don't chase them, I replace them. And if I'm caressing them, I'm undressing them. And I had the opportunity to actually meet B.I.G. when I was 13, 14, cutting class, unfortunately, at the Foot Locker on 34th Street in Madison, I believe. And, just a brief interaction. I wasn't sweating them, but that what I think about that concept is I went through a long phase of being a nice guy. And then when I started to grow that backbone, I started to realize that the people who are going to waste your time, when you tell them how it is from the get-go, you're more likely to be called an asshole, but it's because you got your priorities, like you said, focused. And so I think, men, don't be afraid to have, women call you out your name because they don't like that they can't run game on you. You need to maintain your frame, and you need to be spitting game out here and not wasting your time and building your business, build something that's worth keeping and not losing, because then you're going to be mindful of who you spend your time with. And if they're not adding, if they're not bringing value to you, if they're not, increasing your productivity, increasing your ability to bring in more resources, then they are essentially a waste and a drag on your system. So I say interest is never neutral. It's either flowing towards you or it's flowing away from you. So that's how I keep the current moving. And B1, appreciate everything you do out here to keep everybody with the right mindset.
Thank you very much for giving us a call. We appreciate that. Like I said, you stay focused on what you're doing, man. You stay focused on you, perfecting you, and the female is supposed to fit into your agenda. That shouldn't be a priority, because once you make the female, once you make getting some sex a priority, now she's in charge. It's always supposed to be about, do they qualify to be with you? Always supposed to be about that. Speaking of which, by the way, just a brief reminder here, I do have some females who are going to need help on their weight loss and fitness journeys. So I'm going to be looking for some certified female fitness trainers. You're definitely welcome to contact me at handlethebusiness@yahoo.com. So we can go ahead and get some of these chicks here straightened out. So going forward, I got Kitty I'm working on and whatnot, but just in case, I wanted to have a few others there. Every once in a while I get asked about that. So where the females are concerned, if you're a female fitness trainer, you can definitely go ahead and contact me at handlethebusiness@yahoo.com. Let me get caller from area code 214. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, this is Elijah out of Oklahoma City.
Okay, if your phone's on speaker, you need to take it off. It's got a lot of background noise.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
Okay, what's your name? Where you
Can you
calling
hear me?
from?
This is Elijah out of Oklahoma City.
Elijah out of Oklahoma City. What's on your mind?
Yes, I'm an I'm a trainer and scout and agent for NBA and NFL. And what you see with Joe is it's the norm. It's very commonplace to where you have loose whole females running over the $1 million athletes. And in this case, there's a famous, like the brother said, he didn't do his leg work, he didn't do his homework, and he didn't have anybody in his corner. And there's a famous fable and parable called something on the internet called something like the frozen snake. And it give you the short version. A man went out in the cold and found a snake that was frozen. And so he fed it. He said, "Oh, poor snake." And so he fed it and watered it and nurtured it. And then the snake woke up, and then the snake bit the man. And the man asked the snake, "Why did you bite me when I found you in the cold dying and nursed and nurtured you back to health and fed you and watered you?" And the snake's response was, "Well, you knew I was a snake when you found me, so you should have known better." And this fable and parable is applicable in Joe's case, and that's exactly what you played, the female telling him. And it's a very commonplace scenario amongst athletes.
When you go around, and it's amazing, on the basketball court, you can be so competitive, and in your personal life, you can be so uncompetitive.
Right. My spiritual teacher said, what you just said means that they can be great on the basketball court and the football field, but they can't make that greatness fit into the real world. And the best example, I coined the term, the great don't know what makes them great. And the best example of that is just look at Michael Jordan, greatest basketball player ever. Couldn't be stopped on the court, did everything he wanted to do. 6 NBA championships, 6 NBA finals, won all 6, was MVP for all 6. But when he got to the Charlotte Hornets as an executive, he's always had the Hornets as the worst team in basketball and the last place team in basketball. So these great physical specimens don't understand the mental potential and equivalent that they could turn themselves into.
Well, I mean, you're great at what you wish to apply yourself to.
Right.
They can apply themselves on the court. They can apply themselves on the gridiron. They can apply themselves there. But in the case of Jordan, he was okay with, he still wanted to be in the league, even though he no longer really qualified to be a player. But having proximity to it doesn't make you an executive. It doesn't make you a coach. Just having proximity doesn't have it. So no, if you can't translate those things in other areas, it doesn't work. And just because you can have the drive to be a player, if you don't also have that drive to do something else, it doesn't work. And that includes dealing with the females. If you're not willing to apply the same principles that you did to be a great basketball player to being a great man with women, you're just going to be a victim. I'll let you have the last word.
Yes, sir. And you make an excellent point that, and I tell athletes all the time, your athletic prowess power and ability is only a symbol. It's a mere symbol of you can achieve just what you said. You can achieve that same ability off the court. But my spiritual teacher said it like this: man becomes good at what he spends his time doing. And black males, you know, we other nationalities, if you look at the Chinese and the Orientals, their parents steer them and guide them towards things like the medical field and engineering. And after a period of time, you look up and they've produced doctors and engineers. Our young men, since the greatest disease that black folks suffer from is called fatherlessness. And we don't have the fathers that all the other nationalities have steering them towards the science, technology, engineering, and medicine that other nationalities do.
Well, beyond that, they could do the same thing in sports also. If you have purpose, if you have focus, if your purpose is to go there. I mean, take a look at the Manning brothers. If your focus is to go there and to uphold a legacy, then you look like the Manning brothers, or you look like, Deion Sanders' sons. If your focus is to, my mama wasn't nothing, I was raised in the housing project, and let me make it to the meat league so I can get money, hoes, and clothes, well, we can predict how this is going to end, because that's your purpose for being there. And if you apply yourself, the truth of the matter is you will accomplish it. They certainly had plenty of hoes and clothes. They just don't have any proceeds anymore. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller Mary code 772. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, Mr. Black. This is Vic from PSL, Florida.
All right, Vic from PSL. I think you mean Port St. Lucie.
Yes, sir.
Okay, everybody doesn't live there, so acronyms, please spell them out. All right, what's on your mind?
All right. Yes, Mr. Black. So I have one comment and I have two questions. The last question doesn't relate to the topic for the show, but my first comment is based on a couple comments I heard you make during the last Jada show, program, and this program. Well, I could say that, we can be glad that unlike Will Smith, people want to hear from Joe, so glad to hear that he's doing interviews, and people are, want to hear whether or not he has, few views. There's people that want to interview him, unlike Will Smith. And my question is, one thing that his wife had said is that she wants him to come back home because she's saying that he could get some money from what's happening right now. Do you think that maybe if he was in a better mental space that maybe he should go ahead and go get that money with her?
No, because here's the problem. Money is supposed to be a side effect, and I've always taught you all that. Don't chase dollars, chase excellence. So if we're making money at this, my next question would be, okay, you're making money being excellent at what exactly? Now, if you're telling me, well, we're making money at being excellent at hustling my wife's drawers, I'm like, is this something that you really should be trying to excel at? So I don't see how we make a partnership at this, or we come to an understanding or an agreement, or, a partnership. I don't see how do I partner with hustling my woman's drawers? How do I do that? How do I do that? What I'm saying is, you cannot put your woman's naked body out there available to any man who wants to crack at it, and that body retain its value. If every man, what I'm saying is, why did you marry her if every man is equally eligible to sleep with her? Like Adam 22 over there on No Jumper. Well, if every man is eligible now to sleep with your woman, what's the value of marrying her? Well, why'd you have to take this extra step here? What are you committing to? If everybody can have the same experience with your woman that you have. Think about that for a few moments. So every male out here now is now eligible for the same experience with your woman that you have. What's the value? Now we're going to monetize it. So does that make it less degrading? Does that make it less emasculating? Okay, well, I'll just take a look at the money. I don't see the value in that. As far as I'm concerned, that's the destruction of value.
Would it be the same if she stopped showing off her body, and they get a reality show, or they get on some talk shows? People pay them to come on talk shows and talk about what had happened. Is that the same as
yes,
pimping her to show her body?
Yes, okay. Yes, because nobody's bringing her on to discuss astrophysics or engineering or accounting or socioeconomics. They're bringing her on there to discuss the only thing that she has demonstrated that she has any sort of acumen or expertise at: sex.
Okay.
Nobody wants to talk to her about her personality. She has no accomplishments. Brother was saying that she says she has a trucking company. I haven't seen that, but even if she did, nobody wants to discuss CDLs with her. So what I'm saying is, they're only what she was doing 20 years ago. That's the only thing that anybody wants to talk to about with her now. Now that tells you how much progress your woman has made. 20 years later, we only want to discuss her sex habits. Oh yeah, well that shouldn't be a problem because she only wants to discuss her sex habits. When you take a look at her link tree doesn't have a bunch of business on there. For everyone watching the screen right now, take a look at her link tree. Her link tree doesn't have, I gotta be careful what I show up there, but her link tree doesn't have any businesses up there except her sex business. Her Twitter is not about trucking. So if they do have a quote reality show, that's going to be what it's going to be about, because that's the only thing she's done that anybody would be interested in. And that's basically what you built out of your wife is, yeah, we'd like to hear your wife do the most disgusting thing that a female can do. It is the height of disgusting. It's the height of gutter for a female to go in public and discuss her sex habits or her sex practices with her husband. You're in front of the world and you're discussing what you and your husband do sexually. That's the definition of a hoe. Right there. And remember, sex happens between your ears, not between your legs. So with that being the case, if your woman is out there being a sexual exhibitionist, it doesn't matter whether she's showing herself or showing her sex habits or discussing her sex habits. She's telling you this is her value. Last but not least, remember, and this is something new, because I want to codify this for everyone. This is something new I want you all to keep in mind. A man elevates a woman's lifestyle. A man upgrades a woman by elevating her lifestyle. A woman upgrades a man by elevating his status, by how she represents him and how well she represents him and how competitive she is against other females who represent their men well. How well does this woman represent this man? How well does it represent him to be discussing your sex habits, whether it's on a radio show or whether you do get a talk show or basketball house Hoes of Atlanta or whatever? How is that representing this man well? How is that raising his status? Because right now, he's in the same position that every other guy married to a hoe is. Yeah, dudes would sleep with your woman, but none of us think more of you because you're married to her. That's the problem. We think there are plenty of us who think less, but there's nobody who says, man, I'd like to trade places with him because he would be an improvement over where I am because he's married to that woman. She's a negative. And capitalizing on her negativity doesn't transform that into a positive. Think of it this way. Imagine if you were getting paid $5 million a year for white folks to come up to you and call you nigga, nigga, nigga all day. Well, I make $5 million a year. Yeah, you do, but did you explain how you make it? This is the definition of bad money.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, not worth it. That is bad money. Now, speaking about money, my question doesn't relate to the topic. Like I said, but I may not be able to call into your Patreon tomorrow, so I just want to ask you this question while I have you on the phone. Tell me the best jobs to get in the Army. What's the best MOSs, the best jobs, like the top 3, top 5?
Well, without me being in the military, that would be a subjective question, but certainly anything that deals in IT is good to have. Anything that would deal with aircraft is good to have, although particularly if you can pilot it, that's nice. So anything having to do with IT, computers, aircraft, medicine to a lesser degree, but certainly that as well. So if I were to, I can't name 5 or 6. I guess that's almost 5, isn't it? So in those directions that would be the direction you want to go because those are skill sets that translate to the civilian world. Anything else would be a long shot, firearms instructor or something like that. Anything else would be a long shot. Those are skills you could actually translate to the civilian world.
All right, got it. Thank you. Much respect, Mr. Black. Thank you for taking my call. Much respect.
Thank you for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, like I say, I mean, that's the definition of bad money, man. That's the definition of bad money. No, you can't. Well, you know, if me and my wife get together, we hoe her out on VH1. No. Because this is your legacy too. This is your legacy too. On the chat room, you're right, security clearance. Well, if you have a job if you get security clearance and then there are jobs with contractors and whatnot that require security clearance, assuming you qualify for those jobs, of course. Assuming, of course, you do. But security clearance, you're absolutely right, Aria. That's a good point to make. If you got security clearance, yes, that can work depending on if you qualify for the job. So, yeah, because there are plenty of companies, there are contractors with the government, and you can work for them, but they need somebody who has security clearances. So if you have that, yeah, that gives you a specialty just right off the bat. So very good suggestion there. What we're determining here, what we're finding out here, fellas, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. It's always destructive. She's always playing against the world and against you. She's always calculating not how she can just beat the rest of the world, but how she's going to beat you. She doesn't believe in any type of permanence. You can say happily ever after. You can say till death do you part. There isn't a hoe that was ever born who believes in a relationship till death do you part. She always sees every man as temporary. You are there until the next one comes. And that's it. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Bunch of fellas out here, you're trying to simp your way through life. You're trying to make as much money as you can. You're trying to sit up here and get old. You're tricking off your pension. You're sitting up here buying a big ass house. This chick is sitting here next to you and plotting against you the whole damn time. How the hell could you go through as much as you have been and be as old as you are and be this naive to the fact you have a female sitting next to you who has utter contempt for you? But furthermore, she's been carrying it. And one last thing, how the hell is it that your woman is sitting up here and I mean, she's got a full damn massage business. I say massage business, but she got a full-blown massage business going on over here. What do you think's happening in that place? What do you think she's doing up in there, man? What do you think she's doing? What do you think she's doing for $1,000 an hour? Because in my world, that's the very definition of qualifying for doing something strange for some change. What do you think she's doing for $1,000 an hour. For $500 an hour. And is there any value to be had anymore when you have a woman who is rationing herself out like that? Want to send a shout out here to my man Cornell Sly. Thank you very much for your support in the super chat. We appreciate that. Also, I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, CashApp, Super Chat, Venmo. Thank you very much for your support. I appreciate that, brother. Let me get caller from area code 469. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason. It's AJ from Dallas.
Okay, AJ from Dallas. What's on your mind?
Hey, you did a program maybe 3 years ago around the pandemic addressing the low-value man. And I'm just curious in this case, you mentioned something on that program about intrinsic value. Could you provide an example of exactly what that is? You were saying how a man should not look for that. And then in this case with this guy, is that what he's looking to?
Well, my point about intrinsic value, and this is another thing right here. The problem with Joe Smith's wife is that she's weaponizing sex. So I want you all to remember that as well. She's weaponizing sex. Intrinsic value is a weaponized concept when other people bring it to you. When someone's pushing up on you and trying to coerce you into accepting or honoring their intrinsic value, they're trying to weaponize it. If a person has intrinsic value, they don't have to sell you on it. You see it. You already see it. And if you don't, then clearly it doesn't have, whatever they got doesn't have value to you. Somebody pushing up on you, trying to get you to recognize and honor their intrinsic value, that's usually because they didn't actually bring you anything. So they just want you to honor a concept, but not honor what they actually brought because they didn't bring anything. So I advise people against the idea of, pursuing or accepting intrinsic value, because when it's brought to you by somebody else, if you recognize that in someone else, I also think you should be discerning. But first and foremost, I gave it as a warning. Don't let anyone come up here and try to push on you their intrinsic value. And don't you be gaslit or deceived into honoring intrinsic value. If they have intrinsic value, first of all, can someone define what intrinsic value is? Other than, your basic human right to live, what other intrinsic value do you have?
Got it. That makes a lot of sense.
So you have an intrinsic right.
That makes a lot of sense.
You have an intrinsic right to live. So I guess as a society, we do recognize an intrinsic value of human rights to live. Okay, got that. That's a baseline. What else did you bring? So if the person didn't bring anything else, they're probably going to try to convince you that we should stretch that intrinsic value even further. I'm just telling you don't, because what practically always happens is the person trying to push intrinsic value on you is trying to give you intangible benefits, but they're trying to push intrinsic value because they came to you specifically to extract some tangible benefits. And they don't have anything else to give you, so they want to give you, in exchange for your tangible benefits, they want you to give them they want to give you some intrinsic value.
Makes perfect sense. Thank you.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, when somebody, 9 chances out of 10, when someone's walking up to you offering or trying to bully you or badger you into honoring their intrinsic value, that's usually because they're trying to get something tangible out of you. They don't have anything to exchange. So let me see if I can knuckle you under with some intrinsic value. Hard lessons being learned here tonight. Hard lessons being learned. Fellas, you can't turn hoes into housewives. I didn't say you can't be cool with hoes. Hoes are okay to be cool with as long as they mind their manners. But fellas, don't let her sit up here and let your desperation, your loneliness, your lack of options, whatever, don't let that sit up here and deceive you into giving a hoe a permanent position in your life. Be honest with her. But the real truth is she needs to be honest with herself about what she qualifies for. And you be honest with yourself that this is what she qualifies for. This is it. It's not an insult. Look, honoring a hoe's position is not an insult. That's not insulting her. Being like, hey, you're cool people and everything. You got some hoe in you though. So there's certain things I can't do. But it's not about being disrespectful. It's about, hey, let's just be straight. Can we just be honest about this? Look, baby, you can make over 50 porn videos. 50? What? You got over 50 flicks. Oh no, your hoe card is validated. I ain't hating on you, but I'm just saying, why don't you let us deal with you in the capacity of what you are and where you are? Instead of you trying to bully us into giving you a position you don't actually qualify for because you ruined yourself, why don't we go ahead? Why don't you allow us to deal with you where you actually are, not where you wish you were? And stop trying to gaslight us into giving you something you don't deserve and you don't actually qualify for. Let's deal with you in your hoe status. That's not an insult. It's just like with a male. Ladies, when y'all say when you friend zone a fella, what are you doing? You're telling him, you ain't no alpha male. We don't hate you. We're not mad at you, but you're not an alpha. So let me deal with you where you are. Let me deal with you where you're at. Let me deal with you here. No, stop trying to bully me and pressure me and knuckle me under into making you my man like that. This is where you qualify at, little square, corny dude. That's not an insult for her to. Females never consider that to be an insult when men say, yeah, that's where you're at. I mean, when they tell men that's where you're at. Oh, we can just be friends. She knows what she's saying is, dude, I'm not attracted to you. You're not really that masculine alpha dude like that. Women never consider that to be an insult. Well, that's just telling you the truth. Okay, ladies, I'm here for that. I hear you. I accept that. I'm on the same page with you. I agree with you. And if you're a hoe, you don't qualify for certain statuses and positions in life. Let's get you a position where you do qualify for so we can get them benefits coming in steadily. No, you're not going to get wife benefits, but you're not going to qualify for that. All you're going to do is find some sad sack simp you can't stand him, you don't respect him, but you're desperate. You'll try to fool yourself for a little while into believing you can stick around with this dude. But eventually the real thing is going to come out because it must. The real thing's going to come out, and eventually you're going to have to explain to him that, yeah, I'm just here for what I can get. I don't really respect you. I'm not going to honor you. I don't represent you well. I've played along as long as I could, but you don't really qualify for that level of deference. Ladies, hoes don't qualify to be housewives. It's the 21st century. Let's just keep it all on the table as adults, and let's get you in a position with somebody you do qualify to be with so you actually can get something rather than sitting up here making a fool out of yourself, pursuing something you can't actually have, and if you did get it, you can't actually keep it. Gonna take one more phone call here. Let me get caller area code 917. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, I'm Lee. I'm calling from New York. I just wanted to say with this whole thing.
Well, Lee, which borough in New York?
Westchester.
Okay, another borough, but okay. All right, what's on your mind, Lee?
I wanted to say that this whole thing with this particular skit, and also with the Cheesecake Factory, and also with the oyster day with the 48 oysters, this is all being orchestrated by Kevin Wesley. These are all skits, and he's the person who you really need to concentrate on.
Okay, ma'am.
His name is Kevin Wesley.
Okay, slow down. Is the OnlyFans a skit too? Because the videos are floating.
Yes, it is.
The videos are floating around.
Definitely. 100% positive.
Okay, so the videos of her butt booty naked are
no the video of her confronting her husband and all that stuff, that is a skit orchestrated by Kevin Wesley.
Okay, but ma'am, here's the problem. The problem is that unlike, different, listen carefully, Lee, unlike, that means not like, different from the Cheesecake Factory video, is that this one is actually rooted in reality.
I understand that.
Okay, now once you say that, then you've just differentiated it from the Cheesecake Factory video. I can show you where this is actually plugged into the real world.
But what I'm saying is he's the one who helped put this whole thing together. If you look at the original video, he's actually the one who produced, who helped them put this together.
Okay, ma'am, I'm going to say this one last time because this doesn't seem to be resonating with you here. Lee sounds like she's dealing with some issues. This particular thing is plugged into the real world. So it's not a skit if it's a commentary on your real life. That's the problem. Because then the question would be, what is the purpose of this particular, quote, skit? Now, we know what the purpose of the Cheesecake Factory one was. If this is a skit, what is it trying to accomplish?
In order for her to get the first one was in order for the first thing that she did, when she was recording it, and it even says in there, like, it's to drive her page. That's the reason why they recorded it.
Boy, what in the hell's the matter with you?
Lee, the bottom line is what you just said was exactly what I just said. Is to drive traffic for her OnlyFans. But the OnlyFans is not a skit. The OnlyFans is real.
I understand that.
Okay, and her let me rub you down business is real too.
Well, I think you should investigate Kevin Wesley.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, Lee, we've explained this to you a few times now. So thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, some folks think professional wrestling is real. So, I mean, that's all I can say there. Explained it to her 100 times. Like, okay, you keep saying that phrase over and over again. Well, Kevin Wesley, listen to Kevin Westbrook, Wesley Snipes. Okay. It's a skit. Okay. It's a skit advertising it's a skit mentioning a real OnlyFans. Well, yes. All right. We covered all this at the very beginning of the program. There's some things you can't walk backwards. Even if you were to take this as or assume this is a skit. The problem is, if this is a skit, this is the worst one in the history of skits. It's advertising a real, my woman will rub you down business. is advertising an actual would you like to see my wife naked rubbing you down business. That ain't a skit. At this point, we have left skit world. This isn't a skit anymore. Somebody tell me the skit where we get to put a literal price tag on seeing your woman naked. Oh, well, the OnlyFans is real, but this is a skit. This is not a skit. This is an ad. If you believe that. But my real thing is, this is a terrible ad. If this is a skit, if this is supposed to be an advertisement, this is the worst advertisement for the worst product ever. This is the worst. This isn't a plus. This isn't, oh, we rolling the money doing well. This is terrible. She's 52 years old, man. 52. Folks done gone back and dug up footage of your woman sitting up here with damn me, Mr. Marcus? Man, come on now. What the hell? So tell me the upside of Mr. Marcus leering at your woman. Tell us the upside of resurrecting this footage. Tell me the upside. Tell me the positive. Okay, well, here's how we make this. Here's how we flip it and make this good. Tell me how you do that. How do you parlay this and flip this into a positive? How are we going to do that? Okay, for all the folks out there who say it's a skit, by the way, okay, so the skit is fake, but the body rubs are real. So the skit is fake, but the body rubbing is real. Okay. Hey, folks, if you would like to find out if this is really a skit or not, if you want to find out this is really a skit or not, for the low price of, well, I guess the lowest thing where you get to be with Kiss, $500, maybe $400. You might be able to work that down. The one that verifies is with Kiss. So for $500, you can become a part of the story. For $500, damn, watching on TMZ. For $500, you can join the story. You can become a part of the story for $500. This is where we're at. Fellas, when you turn a hoe into a housewife, I warned you all before, hoes self-destruct. They always do. They don't believe anything is, they're not looking for permanence. They're just looking to get as far as they can before everything goes to hell. And if you put yourself in the same boat with them, when they go, you go. You cannot turn hoes to a housewife. You just can't. You want to kick it with hoes? I ain't judging you. You want to have a couple hoes around for utility? I'm not judging you. You do something stupid and you give her leverage, you give her access, get ready for the ride. Get ready for the ride. I want to thank everyone who has tuned in to tonight's program. And if you are new here to the business, welcome to the program that all your favorite YouTubers love to hate watch. Click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. Join us each and every time that we're here. If you haven't joined our Patreon, we'll be doing that tomorrow here, 12 noon Central Time. You are certainly inclined to join us. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, CashApp, Super Chat, Venmo. Thank you all for tuning in live or recorded. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes this broadcast of The Business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. And until next time, all of my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, handle your business or your business will handle you.